Got it.
You got it.
Yep.
Baby, you got it. I'm your Venus. I'm your fire, your desire.
Woo!
Yeah, there we go. That's the intro for episode 12. How are you?
I'm great. I feel awesome.
Being awake all of 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Digested,
How are you doing?
Digested your intake of Essential 21 Pilots that Oliver force feeds you now through an IV.
Every fucking day, I gotta hear about 21 Pilots.
Yep.
Every day.
Wait until I start planning the tattoo for it.
Oh gosh. I actually just watched the TikTok videos that you sent me too.
I wish I could remember which ones I'd sent you, but I send you so many at this
It
point.
Was it was Tyler doing the black paint and singing car radio.
The smearing.
Was it car radio?
No, it was Message Man, but he mixed in
my bad.
lyrics of like one of their other songs called Pet Cheetah.
Okay.
I thought it was cool.
Sorry, y'all, don't burn me at the stake.
Yeah, the 21 Pilots skeleton clique are coming for you, Ryan.
I haven't listened to their music in a really long time.
Yeah, but you like the good
week.
old ones. You like the good old ones,
do.
though, so that's the important bit.
Yeah.
There's like two parts of the fan base that like hardcore love like car radio and Migraine and all the old stuff, and then there's like people that really enjoy the new shit. And
Right.
thankfully, I'm in between. I have no preference. It's wonderful. Just like
that's a good
anything.
place to be as an actual fan.
Yeah. No, none of this tribalism bullshit. Have I told you how much I hate Wolverine lately?
Yeah, you mentioned it a few times.
Just bring that up to piss some people off.
He's just being around.
Yeah.
People are arguing about whether or not he should be 5'3" in the MCU, and I think that he definitely should be short.
Yeah.
Because he's Wolverine. I mean, he's a little angry mongoose kind of thing.
I think there's like...
Plus, he has to be able to be held and thrown.
Yeah, that's true. I think it's just going to be like a really difficult visual to sell people on.
Fuck those people. I don't know what to tell them. You can't have Colossus be 8 feet tall and holding a 6 foot fucking 3 man in his hand. I don't actually know how tall Hugh Jackman is.
I can't think of like... Well, they did They did a throw. They did a throw in X2.
Yeah, but he grabbed him and spun him around and threw him. He
threw him like a shot put.
Whatever.
He sort of hold him. I don't know.
That's not a baseball throw.
I'm kind of on the... I'm on the side of the fence where I'm like, I don't think we need Wolverine. I'd be perfectly fine with just giving Wolverine stories to Laura Kinney and us having X-23. But I know that isn't what the general public and general comic book fans want, so...
Definitely not.
I don't know.
You're getting too woke about it, okay?
I just think that she's cooler.
She is so much cooler.
I don't know, I've had my run of Wolverine, but he is kind of like... People say that, the big three is Spider-Man, Superman, and Hulk. And I feel like Wolverine should be... I feel like it's a big five, because you've got to have Batman and Wolverine in there. Wolverine's pretty mainstream.
Yeah. He is. If you're an X-Men fan, there's a lot of people who are, hardcore Wolverine.
He's the Punisher of the X-Men.
Yeah. He's like the X-Men's anti-hero. Mm-hmm. He comes in, he doesn't really want to be part of the team, and then he goes off and does his weird shit on his own where he's killing people. It's fucking crazy.
I would really like a version of the character though that, not that I dislike Hugh Jackman's, obviously, I really do enjoy Hugh Jackman's, but I would like a new version of the character that I can grow to enjoy, rather than... It's like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man scenario, where it's this is the version of the character that you must like. And I'm like,
Right.
well, I'm happy to see a new version of the character.
Me too.
I'm all for
Me too.
different iterations. Just like, in 5 or 6 years' time, recast Mr. Fantastic. I won't be mad. We've had Pedro. We've had Pedro, we've enjoyed Pedro. We can have new people.
I'd much rather them recast than use fucking face like swapping garbage to like keep these people alive way longer than they should be.
Well, okay, we can't go any further into this because it's going to come back up later.
Okay.
So we got to get back on topic because we're going to talk
My
about
bad.
like the concept of like long-term actors and stuff later with a rolling timeline shit. But somebody that might not be sticking around in the MCU, we don't really know right now. Elizabeth Olsen, the Taylor Swift of Marvel.
Wow, that's actually such a good like
It's the
description.
fan base. It's the fan base
It
is just wild.
Yeah.
And I can guarantee that like 80% of them have never picked up a Scarlet Witch related comic. They just fucking love MCU Wanda, which I also love MCU Wanda. I think she's pretty sick, but just the fan base is feral. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's so interesting how they act about. I mean, I would be pissed too if my favorite character had that ending in Multiverse of Madness.
Oh yeah.
But like, she doesn't need to be in everything, guys. It's okay.
Well, her and Paul Bettany recently did a Comic-Con together. It was kind of a WandaVision reunion. I don't really know if they've done it since WandaVision, but they spoke a lot about WandaVision and like the making of it, and they had like a live audience and stuff for the first couple of episodes, and they spoke about like the experiences with that and like the costumes and shit. That was all pretty interesting. I haven't managed to find... God, I wish that they would film these panels and post them online so that you could actually sit and watch them, because they're so fucking interesting. And you can never find full... I want like a full hour or 2 hour long video of this shit.
Man.
Just let me sit there and
I've
watch
seen them
these people.
sometimes when they do like big like announcements, they'll post like the whole hour long like panel and you could sit and watch it. But I don't know if they don't do it for like smaller ones.
Shit like that would have been cool for this, because there was like a lot of little information dropped that was quite interesting. So
Yeah.
somebody was asked, Elizabeth Olsen was asked by somebody, like, if she got to pick, what they do with Wanda moving forward, like, is there anything with Wanda that, she's chomping at the bits to actually do? She actually answered, which was surprising. But it's No More Mutants. To fucking nobody's surprise, she went into not like a lot of detail, but she's clearly read House of M and kind of knows the concept of the story and stuff. And she said it would be great to have like a build-up of Avengers and X-Men and actually be able to adapt that story and get to the point where you can do the iconic No More Mutants moment. And like, it's weird because like Wanda being the villain in Multiverse of Madness ended up kind of backfiring. Even though she had like a lot of cool moments, the writing was horrific. And it's weird, I think, that like she still wants to kind of go down that route of having Wanda in a villain role. But I think if you've read House of M, then you kind of know that, it's not necessarily her fault.
Yeah.
Even though that argument can be made for Multiverse of Madness with the Darkhold and stuff, I think that House of M is like one of those stories that people are waiting for it to be adapted.
I think you sent me that video too, and she said something about how like she doesn't know how it could be like put into the MCU, which is honestly valid because it's kind of hard with how they've been building everything. But I mean, if they do a full reboot after Secret Wars, I don't see why they couldn't do something similar to that. An adaptation
honestly,
in a way.
like anything past Secret Wars, like Secret Wars is 2027. I think like from 2027 you could have like a 3-year build of like a lot of heavy X-Men stuff, and then out of nowhere have a House of M that obliterates the X-Men to kind of be like a very shocking moment.
Yeah.
I don't think you need like too much of a build. I think just a couple of years of like establishing these characters, kind of like Infinity War style at the end of that, where like suddenly they're all fucking gone. Like, what are you gonna do? And then you resolve it over the next sort of 2 or 3 years after that.
Yeah.
But
And that's the thing. She doesn't like not all the mutants lose their powers. She only gets like a large she gets a large majority of them, but she doesn't get all of them.
all
So
the
there's still
important
mutants out there
ones
that are
stay.
now gunning for her.
All of the important ones get to keep their powers.
Yeah, what's important to the story.
One of the most noticeable, I read Son of M, which takes place directly after that, and it's Quicksilver's story, you know, once the timeline has kind of been reset after the event, and he doesn't have his powers, which I thought was kind of interesting. And he ends up using the Terrigen Mists to get his powers back, to like...
Oh.
Yeah, using the Inhuman way. And it ends up like... It kind of enhances his powers in a way, I guess. He's able to kind of like phase in and out of time, similar to the Flash.
Interesting.
So he ends up like interacting with like a future version of himself. And there's like a whole... Because he's quite closely tied to the Inhumans. He's got a kid with... I think it's Medusa's sister, Crystal. So... It kind of makes sense that, like, you know, he would mentally go, okay, well, I'll just use the fucking Terrigen Mists. But I can't really remember how that ends.
That's interesting. How does that work? Is
He just
part
sneaks...
Inhuman, or does it work on mutants? I don't understand.
Well, I don't really think it was meant to work, but it just did end up working. I can smell something weird.
Maybe it was like
Wait
the
a
stress.
second. Wait a second.
Are you dying?
I don't know. I can smell something. Let me take my headset off.
If it's burnt toast, you're having a stroke.
You know what's weird? I can smell cat food.
Interesting. Maybe you smell it through my microphone.
Oh, that's really strange. Maybe I am having like a stroke or something. Okay, sorry. Where were you? What?
I was saying maybe the Terrigen Mist like was a stressor, because that's how usually mutants get their powers, is when they're like
Let me
under
Google it.
duress. It like activates the dormant gene.
I know that he sneaks into like the cave where the Terrigen Mists are, and he gets like pre-warned about it. In the comics, his speed is an inherent mutant ability, but a storyline involving the Terrigen Mist resulting in him gaining different powers, specifically time travel. It didn't restore his speed. He retained these enhanced powers for a time by physically grinding the Terrigen Crysts into his flesh.
What the fuck?
So yeah, it was definitely... There's some brilliant visuals, like the art for that is really great. But yeah, so I can't remember how we got onto the tangent of that.
Does he end up getting his powers back?
No, I don't think so.
Oh wow.
I think he's got to wait, because I don't really think he shows... Oh, maybe he's in the Mighty Avengers for Siege, though. I can't quite remember. But I feel like... Oh, he's got his powers back by the time we get to Children's Crusade.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I don't know. I'll have to keep reading like Quicksilver's story. I have a feeling he pops up on an Avengers team though, like around the 2010 like period of time, so anyway, I don't really know how we got onto it, but back to Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany at this fucking Comic-Con. She said that... Oh, of course, we were talking about No More Mutants. But yeah, so she also mentioned... Somebody asked her about Wonder Man and Vision and the whole love triangle that goes on there in the comics, and she said that she recently did a film involving a love triangle, and she was like, I ain't interested in revisiting that storyline. She was like, I don't want to do any kind of story. Like, I've just spent a lot of my life producing a film with that exact theme in, so I don't want to do it again. So we're probably not going to get like a Wonder Man Vision Scarlet Witch romance, which I feel like is kind of for the best, because I feel like Wonder Man can kind of stand on his own. I'm quite excited to watch that.
Yeah.
She also commented...
I prefer
What, go on?
Vision, so...
Oh,
Wonder
yeah,
Man.
same.
Stay in your lane.
I think his origins are just going to be, like, completely different in the MCU anyway. I don't think he's going to have any ties to Scarlet Witch.
It would make sense.
She also commented on Marvel Zombies, which she said that she recorded the audio for Marvel Zombies back in 2020 / 2021, and she said that she recorded them at home, and she assumed that the project had already been released because it was recorded that long ago. So
it's a good thing she never said anything about it.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Holy shit.
So then somebody asked Paul Bettany about, like, the themes of Vision Quest. I think I sent this to you, where he, like, just straight up says that it's about sons.
Yeah.
So,
fathers and sons.
Yeah, but this is interesting, because, like, we already know that Ultron is confirmed for the show. We already know that we're going to be getting, like, a lot of AI characters. We're going to be getting Joe Castor. We're going to be getting Friday. We're going to be seeing, like, human versions of these AIs. So maybe he hasn't spoiled it. Maybe it's going to be, like, the father-son relationship between Ultron and Vision.
Yeah. I mean, I've told you about that character. Vision has a brother.
Have you?
Yeah, remember I put him on my list for that thing?
No.
The Rivals thing?
What's his name?
Victor Mancha.
Oh! Okay, no, I do remember. The Runaways guy.
Yeah.
Yes, okay, no, I know who you mean.
I forget that he's in the Runaways.
We had this exact same conversation when you brought him up for the first time.
Yeah.
He's human
but I really
looking,
liked
though,
him. Yeah. So I think that's interesting. Especially, like, because I read the AI, Avengers AI comic book run, and in that, there's, like, a whole point where people are going against, like, the AI, because the AI is trying to, like, do domestic terrorism. And so, like, they literally find out that he is an android, and they start, like, throwing shit at him, even though he's literally on the Avengers side trying to stop the domestic terrorism. So it's just, like, he looks like a person, and, like, when he walks around, he could be like a person, but he is an android. So it's it's an interesting, thing.
Yeah, he was in the...
I think it would be cool to add that in there.
He was in the Civil War, like, Young Avengers Runaway crossover that I read. I can't remember... Did you read that one?
I don't think I read the crossover, no.
That was the one where, like, it's got Marvel Boy in it. But there's, like, Marvel Boy has, like, a very shocking arrival in it. I feel like you would probably remember it if you'd read it, but it's pretty good. And he is in that, and I had no idea who his character was prior to that. But, I mean, he could debut. We could see him in the show. Or...
That would be cool.
Tom King wrote a very, very famous Vision comic that I've banged on about a couple of times now, called The Visions, where it's basically WandaVision, but just Vision, and he's, like, making his own robot family, and, is it fucking Vin and Viz, I think his kids are called? We might get...
I thought one was Viv.
Viv, okay. Viv and Vin, I think they are. But one of them joins the Champions as, like, the more important of Vision's kids.
Viv that's why I know that one.
The other one, I don't really know what he does. But we could see the arrival of one of, like, Vision's robot kids, or it could be, like, a segue way into, bringing in just a new Vision is, like... Vision just makes a kid, and that kid becomes the new Vision that we get for the rest of the MCU kind of thing.
Yeah. It would be crazy, like... Yeah, if he goes off to do his own, like, WandaVision, like, thing where he makes his own little family. Oh, that would be crazy. But it also, like, later on, if fucking Tommy and Billy find out, I feel like that would be kind of upsetting.
Yeah.
Your dad left and went and had another family. But he
That's
did
why
think that you were dead.
that's why I
So,
am leaning towards it being Tommy. I think it would be kind of a cop out if like the back end of Agatha all along is let's go find Tommy, and then what seems to be the third show in a trilogy of shows in Vision Quest doesn't then have Tommy and would be pretty weird.
yeah.
So I think it would be kind of cool because obviously we don't have Quicksilver at the moment. We might get Quicksilver after Secret Wars again. But I think it would be cool to have, like, Vision and Tommy have, like, some sort of relationship built up, because they don't at all in the comics.
Yeah, I don't see... Because isn't Vision dead?
Vision's always dying and coming back, so I don't fucking know.
All I've ever seen about, like, with Tommy and Billy, it's always about Wanda. It's never really about Vision. They don't give a fuck about that guy.
Like, Vision was just, like, the fucking sperm donor.
But not even.
No.
He can't get
He
anything.
provided some blueprints for childbirth, and then that was it. Then he fucked off.
Some thoughts with the Mind Stone.
That's why I think it would be interesting if the MCU sort of, like, flipped it on its head. But then I can also definitely see Vision dying again.
But it's also like the Vision that left isn't the Vision that had those kids with Wanda, because Wanda was making that Vision up the whole time. So does he even care about those kids?
Okay, this is where it gets really confusing, because we were trying to decipher this when we watched WandaVision last time, like a couple of weeks back. And so the new White Vision has the memories of the other Vision. It was like a battle of like soul versus body.
Okay.
And at the end of the battle, like our regular Vision like unlocked the White Vision and was like, boom, now you have like a bit of me in you kind of thing. And it was like too overwhelming for him and he left and he fucked off and he got out of there. As most dads do.
Yeah.
So he's like gone off to find himself, I guess. And I guess like in the process of that, we're going to see, you know, like a revisitation of Ultron, you know, like I said before, the introduction of Jocasta.
Yeah. Vision
know,
Quest is Vision's
minds.
midlife crisis.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. As if WandaVision wasn't a bad enough experience for him to live through. Traumatizing enough. Because, like, okay, so, no, wait, hold up. I think it is the original Vision. The White Vision.
Well, yeah, they made it using the parts of the original Vision.
Yeah, because
But I'm saying it's not...
The new one's, like,
completely...
Yeah, like a complete manifestation, isn't it?
Yeah.
Using, like, the bit of the Mind Stone that was still in her.
Which she does let go at the end there, right? She lets everybody go. And we already know that Billy and Tommy didn't go, like, into the ether. They fucking went into bodies of kids that were dead.
Yeah.
So this guy, like, this Vision, maybe you're right. Maybe he put, like, a little bit of himself into that other Vision, and then when he disappeared, that's probably where he would go.
I think that's, like, probably the best bet, and we're just gonna get, like, look, Vision's back and he's white now. And like he's still the same character, but he's completely different. And if you want to know why, then go watch the shit.
They whitewashed my Vision.
My Vision was whitewashed. Paul Bettany did say that when he was cast initially as Jarvis, Jon Favreau contacted him and said that they needed someone with absolutely zero emotion whatsoever. So he thought of Paul Bettany. I was like, crazy. That's crazy, but it's so good. Like, he's so well cast. I think he's brilliant as Vision. And we definitely...
He does.
We got to get you to rewatch WandaVision at some point soon, because it's so amazing.
I remember it pretty well.
I don't care. You don't remember it well enough. It's better than you remember it.
I bet. Oh man.
But yeah, I've still put money on it being
You know
Tommy.
what? You know what would have made that show even better?
Mephisto.
A musical episode.
Oh. Yeah, but then we got Agatha all along, and all of that was pretty much like a toned down musical.
Jeez. It was Agatha all along.
That was beautiful, thank you.
Thank you.
I'm gonna clip that for like the 2 or 3 seconds that you did it, and I'm just gonna post that on like a blank account on TikTok. With like no context, nothing. It's not gonna have any hashtags, and we're gonna see how well it does against the algorithm.
It's just a video of Agatha like turning around.
It's gonna be like a little chibi drawing of her
Okay.
that you have to draw.
I will not be doing that.
Okay. Who would you put your money on then for who it could be? Do you think it is gonna be his kids, or do you reckon it's gonna be Tommy?
I want to put my money on Tommy because I want it to be Tommy.
And do you think it is gonna be Rory Malika playing him?
I mean, yeah, I don't see why not.
There's gonna be a reason he shaved his head.
It'd be fucked up if they went through all this, like, teased it and everything, and then it's like, people watch it and he's just some rando.
Like fucking Evan Peters, Ralph Boner.
Yeah, bro, that actually pissed me off.
It definitely, it's this tough one on a rewatch, to be fair. It's like the one thing about the show that I just don't like. Like, you know what you were doing, Kevin Feige. You know.
I don't understand why he couldn't have just also been a fabrication. Why'd he have to be an actual person that she was giving powers to? It didn't make any sense. She didn't do that with any other person there.
I think with it lining up so well with Loki and like the breaking of the multiverse, I think it just would have been so much more interesting if she had pulled a Pietro from the Fox universe into this one.
Yeah. It's
such a simple explanation for it, and it just fits in with the theme of it all. I don't get why you wouldn't do that. Why does it have to be a cop-out and a gag?
I don't get it.
I kind of feel like that's the point as well, that a lot of people got quite frustrated with Marvel of like, you've got something there, you knew what you were doing with it, and you just fucking played it off for a laugh.
And like, you know people want it.
Yeah.
People would really fucking love it.
That's the thing that I think hits even harder as well, like when they tease. It's kind of the same with the John Krasinski Reed Richards, I feel like. So many people did want that. And then you just kill him off straight away.
Yeah.
Like, what's the point? And I think that this like, you know, quotation marks downfall of Marvel has kind of been like a slow build-up of all these little things.
And I hope that, like, because this is what I'm worried about with them bringing in these other, like, Fox actors for Avengers Doomsday, is like, are all of these characters just cannon fodder?
Yeah.
Like, are they all just gonna die and then we don't care? Like, or is their Earth gonna die? Like, it just kind of upsets me. Because, like, you could do a little bit more, and you could have done more to kind of merge these before Doomsday, because now we're all just like, what the fuck is even, how are they even gonna meet? How are you gonna have this many people in one movie and have it actually be cohesive? Because they did it before with Infinity War and Endgame, but I really don't think that they did all the storylines as good as they could have if there was enough build-up where people are actually meeting each other.
Yeah, and that's like...
Instead it was just like, let's smash all these other people together and make them fight some guy. It's like, okay.
Yeah. That's the thing with Infinity War. Even with so many characters and like all of these different teams and stuff, you've still got like these are characters that have slowly been introduced for the past 10 years, whereas with this one, it's literally you've got 3 different Earths. You've got a Doom that we don't know where he's coming from. We don't know if he's from the 828. We don't know if he's from 616. We don't know if he's from somewhere else. You know, there's a fucking theory right now that is going around of people saying that RDJ is not going to be the actual Doom, which I'm not going to lie to you, that would be honestly like the most daring thing that I think Marvel would have ever done, if they do this big reveal of RDJ playing Doom and he's not the legitimate Doom of the film.
Oh my god.
I think that would be fucking insane, but I won't put money on it.
No.
But I do really like that theory, and I think it's a very That's a theory that would make me hyped and make me very upset if it didn't come true. Give
Yeah.
me Mads Mikkelsen. Or Ben Mendelsohn, please.
If anything, they can't. I don't know. I guess they can. I keep saying they can't, but they can if they want to. I just don't see why they would let all of that, like, with the Fantastic Four and Doom, and, like, because they didn't. We don't have much with them, and, like, if you do RDJ Doom for too long, like, he's not going to be around forever, as much as they wish that he would be. I just don't think it's feasible to keep him as the only Doom. So it would make sense if he's not, like, the actual one.
I think that, like, it's kind of like when you get around to Secret Wars, this will make so much more context. But something does happen at the end of Secret Wars that would warrant somebody else playing Doom after the Secret Wars film, which is what I think is going to happen. Like, it's going to be the same Doom, but he's not going to look like RDJ afterwards. And we probably won't know, the next actor that will play him by the end of Secret Wars. They'll wait until they're ready to use him again, and then, the big announcement and blah, blah, blah. But I think it'll be, like, the same character and the same continuity. But I think that debuting Doctor Doom in a Secret Wars storyline is wild. And I don't understand at all how they're going to compact down, like you said, especially with, like, we've only just got the Fantastic Four. If they'd been around since Phase 1, it would be completely different.
Or even, like, Phase 3.
Yeah.
Like, a little bit sooner. A little bit.
Even if, and, like, I'm going to go out on a limb here, but even if they debuted after Endgame, and they had appeared in, like, an animated show as, like, a cameo, like, What If or whatever. If we got, like, a What If the Fantastic Four did,
oh my god,
got different powers or some shit, I don't know.
That would have been insane.
Like, just anything to kind of pepper them in. It's, like, I think that Fantastic Four should have come out way before Captain America, so that you got, like, your little bit of multiverse stuff going on. Like, after Ant-Man or something, have the Fantastic Four. And then you have your Captain America film, Captain America leads into Thunderbolts, and then boom, at the end of Thunderbolts, you get the surprise of, oh, look, these people that debuted ages ago, like, fucking 2 years ago, are now coming into this universe. And that was a sick film 2 years ago. We're on, like, a bit of a roll at this point. Like, Captain America was all right, and Thunderbolts was good.
Yeah, they could have fucked with everybody and been like, oh no, they're never gonna be in the MCU. And then, they show up in the Thunderbolts trailer, and you're like, what the fuck?
Exactly. I think the release schedule for it, if it was just tweaked slightly, and, like, Fantastic Four got announced back in, like, 2019. So they had the time. It's just that COVID delayed a lot of shit, unfortunately, and, like, the writers' strikes and stuff. But I definitely think if they, like, reorganized it, it would have been a lot better.
Yeah, it's the same with the X-Men, too, because they're all coming from the Fox universe, and we don't know what from that universe is even, like, real. Because those movies were wild.
Yeah, like,
and they looked very different.
Out, like, a timeline for these characters. We don't even know if it is the same characters. It could just be the same actors.
Yeah, exactly.
So it is really confusing, and I agree that, like, they've not really, it's all being very cobbled together last minute.
I feel like they're rushing it. This, like, phase of the MCU just seems like they're not. I think it's because the movies aren't doing as good, but I mean, they're doing fine. I feel like they could, like, actually build something, but I feel like they don't think they have the time to build it. They want another, like, Avengers movie, like, now.
I probably would piss people off by saying it, but I definitely think you could have chopped out certain shit. I know that you enjoyed it, but certain shit like Moon Knight, like, if you, because he hasn't returned. So, like, and I know that there's still time, but where does he fit into this? Because he doesn't seem like an Avenger, and we're clearly years away from anything Midnight Suns related. So, and I fucking love Werewolf by Night, but why do we need it if these characters aren't going to return? So I think if there were less of like the sort of
Okay.
one-off little bits and pieces and more focus on the shit that was like cohesive.
But I will say though, they're also doing that Mephisto storyline slowly and inching forward with that. So like all of those characters do seem kind of like his wheelhouse.
Okay, that is true. Like when we get to Midnight Suns, if Mephisto is the villain, then we've got like a good long-term build for it.
Yeah.
But I feel like why are they doing it now? Why did we not introduce Mephisto or like the idea of Mephisto back in Moon Knight and then have him name dropped in Agatha and then have him
It
appear
was
in
really
Ironheart?
weird. It was really weird that they chose Ironheart for his
Yeah.
first like main appearance.
Bearing in
That was
mind
an
that
odd
show was meant to
choice.
release like a year or two ago.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't
So,
know. Maybe he's dealing with these people who aren't related to the magic stuff because they don't actually know who he is or what he's capable of. So he's just trying to trick some people into some deals so that he has some cannon fodder to throw at these actual people who don't like him, who know that he's literally the devil.
see now that I do quite like because you hear, oh, I wish I could remember her name. She's really fucking cool and I can't remember her name. Jennifer Cale. You hear Jennifer Cale in Agatha all along say like, oh, Agatha's son is rumored to be an agent of Mephisto because that is who Nicholas Scratch is in the comics. He's related to Mephisto in some way. So obviously, like witches and witchcraft and stuff has knowledge of Mephisto and who Mephisto is. But when you watch Ironheart and you listen to, was it Zelma? Like
Yeah, she says Dormammu.
she highlights Dormammu first over Mephisto. So maybe
But
it's like
she,
she's quite young. Maybe it's like an experience
yeah.
thing.
And they're most, like, the biggest demon that has ever came to Earth is Dormammu. Like,
Yeah,
he literally showed up, tried to end the world. And they've been, the Sanctum of whatever has been dealing with Dormammu and his influence for a while.
yeah,
Sanctum Sanctorum, isn't that what it's
yeah.
called? Yeah, they've been dealing with
All
those
the
guys
layers.
who follow Dormammu for, like, a long time. So that just might be, she's just like, ah, we know Dormammu's always fucking shit up. Maybe it's just like,
Like as much. I mean, I'm fucking excited for like the concept of Midnight Suns, and I love Mephisto. Such a cool character. But I
yeah.
do like if we're building to Doom, I feel like we should focus on Doom. But it's weird because like I was gonna kind of mention it when we got around to talking about the comics, right? But I've been reading the books of Doom, which detail his definitive origin story for like the 616. And Mephisto is so essential for Doom. So like,
Really?
yeah, like insanely essential for Doom. Because I'm just gonna fucking tell you what it is. Like, Mephisto kidnaps Doom's mum and holds her
Oh.
like in a realm of hell. And Doom has reoccurring nightmares where like he goes to hell and sees his mum imprisoned by Mephisto. And Mephisto is like taunting him and stuff. Like all of everything that Doom strives for in these books of Doom is to become good enough to rescue his mum. And I haven't finished the books of Doom, so I don't really know what happens to Cynthia Von Doom yet. But I make the assumption that she's not going to make it out alive.
Well, that
Because
could
she's
be
not
good
very
though. That
present.
could explain why Mephisto is involved now. Like if they go with something like that where he's involved with Doom, like, and Doom wants, like, no matter what happens to anybody else, he just wants to defeat Mephisto. Then that sets up Mephisto to be the next bad guy after they take out Doom, because he's actually the one who's causing all the, like, problems.
See, that I really like. And I really hope that they do have, like, Mephisto sort of wrapped up in the whole Secret Wars storyline in some way. But it
Yeah.
irks me back to, like, what you said before about how it's such a quick turnaround and it's happening so quickly. Like, why
Yeah.
did we not get an actual appearance of Mephisto in Agatha all along as a cameo? and like, you know, a cameo somewhere in Moon Knight, you know, somewhere. But I'm looking forward to
Well,
Secret
hopefully,
Wars.
hopefully it all makes sense. Maybe he'll have like people working for him, and then it'll be like, I've been setting this into motion all along. Who knows? Or maybe they'll just fumble it. We'll all
That's
be
we
disappointed.
all know that Kevin Feige will talk his way into. Oh, this was always the plan. Kang was never the big bad, and this was always the plan to pull out RDJ.
Oh
I
man.
found it really interesting though, because when I went on to, you know how people are like, certain actors are overexposed, or so and so like left the MCU and like is now just doing whatever they want kind of thing. Like people say about Chris Evans, like, oh, Chris Evans left the MCU and now he's just making loads of fucking whatever films he wants to make.
Yeah.
People were saying it about RDJ, right? And they're like, oh, he left the MCU and now, like, when Doctor Dolittle came out, like, oh, that film's clearly not a decent film. And people are like, oh, he's got his MCU money and now he's just going off to do whatever the fuck he wants. And like, there's rumors that they're gonna do a third Sherlock film or whatever. But in the last, like, what, Endgame came out in 2019. In the last 7 years, by the time we get to Doomsday, Robert Downey Jr. has been in 2 films.
I was gonna say I don't think he's been in that much. Like I've not
No,
heard of him since he stopped. Stop doing that,
he
bro.
literally,
Fucking hell.
like, you've got Endgame, Doctor Dolittle, and then he got his Oscar in Oppenheimer, and now he's back.
I didn't even know. Okay, I didn't see that movie. I guess that's why I didn't know he was in it.
I knew he was in it, but I haven't seen it.
I forgot to participate in Barbenheimer. I only went to see Barbie. My bad, guys.
I still need to see Oppenheimer. I want to watch Oppenheimer as a prequel to Godzilla.
Yeah.
Because somebody edited, like, the clip of Cillian Murphy being like, oh, look at what I've created, and then it cuts to, like, Godzilla. And I love that concept of it being, like, the hidden film in a trilogy of Godzillas.
That's
It's
funny.
like the prequel to it. The other thing related to... God, we've got to go all the way back around because we went on such a massive tangent as we usually do. I've got one last note for the Elizabeth Olsen Comic-Con.
Oh gosh, that was really far back.
Yeah. Elizabeth Olsen said that she's only ever pitched one Marvel project at a time. She's never pitched a storyline arcing over multiple films or TV shows. She's only ever pitched one project at a time, which I thought was interesting. And when she was pitched for Doctor Strange 2, she wasn't aware that she was going to be the villain. So I would imagine that was quite the shell shock for her after coming off of, like, directly off of WandaVision.
Why would they
Straight
not
into
tell you that
Multiverse
in the
of
pitch?
Madness. And then having to deal with that.
I wonder if she has any sway to be like, no, I don't want to do this.
I think she does.
Yeah.
I think out of, like, the entire... Like, if you show me the Avengers cast, I think she's the top female actor. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that she's got, like, RDJ levels of sway, but, like, I think she's up there with, like, Chris Evans, Chris Hemsworth.
Well, now that Scarlett Johansson is pretty much gone, yeah.
Yeah.
Be like, she's like the only one.
Pretty much. I think Florence Pugh maybe, but I don't think Florence Pugh cares. I kind of get the impression that Florence Pugh is just like, oh, I'll rock up and I'll do it because it's easy.
Yeah, it's probably a lot of fucking money too.
Yeah. But I definitely think that, like, I think give it a couple of years and Florence Pugh will be up there. But I think that Elizabeth Olsen is, like, the top build. Because Brie Larson's public image isn't the greatest.
Oh gosh.
As much as I really do like Captain Marvel, you know, you can't deny that Brie Larson is kind of...
It upsets me so much that is what ruined, like, Captain Marvel, because I really did like that movie so much, and people shit on it so hard because they just don't like Brie Larson. Like, what the, like, go fuck yourself.
It's really frustrating because
What?
there's a YouTube channel that I watch for reactions. I won't drop any names, but they're about to start the MCU and they've been doing Spider-Man films, and they posted like an update thing on their community page about like, oh, we're gonna be watching like every film in the MCU, but we're gonna be skipping Captain Marvel.
Jesus
And I was
Christ.
like, what the fuck? Like, Captain Marvel as like a standalone film is actually pretty decent. So you're making that decision based purely off of like your opinion on Brie Larson at that stage.
And they made it important to the storyline.
Yeah.
Like, she's very important to Infinity War and Endgame, and you really don't understand why she's there unless you watch that movie, so I don't understand why you wouldn't watch it.
Yeah, baffling to me that you'd
It
skip
just
it.
doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely baffling.
And people
to
were
me.
mad. People were really mad that they did shoehorn her in like that and say, like, oh, she's the reason the Avengers, like, were even a thing, like a thought in Nick Fury's head. But it, like, I don't think it's wrong. I don't think it doesn't make sense for the story. Like, it was nice to have something before everything, like a period kind of piece situation. And, like, I do feel like it matched up with the rest of the storyline pretty well. I don't think that it caused any confusion.
I think the thing that kind of makes it a difficult pill for people to swallow is like she was being so hard pushed during the Marvel Now era of comics, which is that era that we're reading, like that 2012 to
Oh,
2015. Yeah. And like when they completely
The woke
rebranded her
era.
as Captain Marvel. What?
The woke era, that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
this is.
Yeah. Which unironically is actually a really, really good era of comics. Like, I haven't really read like a bad comic from this era yet, but maybe my Thunderbolts read it. I didn't really enjoy that. But yeah, like as soon as they gave her like the Captain Marvel title in the comics, I feel like, you know, immediately adapting that instead of making her Miss Marvel first just doesn't sit right with people. And then Brie Larson just didn't really make things any better with some of the shit that she said.
Definitely not.
So, but it is what it is. She'll probably get recast.
I feel like it's a lot of older people who have loved comics for a long time, which is cool. Like, it's cool that people have these like interests for so long, like from their childhood. But you have to understand that like they make these comic books usually for a younger audience, unless it's specifically an adult-centered like storyline. So the things that they talk about are gonna be for a younger audience.
That's why I
There's
never
gonna
really
be-
got the hate towards like champions and stuff, and people not liking certain members of the champions team, or like, I don't like Young Avengers because it's got gay people on. And it's like, what the fuck do you think comics are about?
Yeah.
Like,
They
it's the
literally
core
hide their head in the
purpose.
sand. They put their head in the sand when they read it, and they just like the cool fight scenes and the power scaling and
I
the
saw
cool costumes and
I saw a tweet
just
from
insane.
somebody, and it was like, motherfuckers will be the most racist, homophobic, and transphobic people on the earth, but then have an X-Men character as their favorite comic book character.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, it's true. Like, there's just no.
It's true,
acknowledgement for it.
especially because he wasn't part of like, I don't think creating the X-Men, but Chris Claremont is like one
yeah.
of the main like
He's the X-Men
wrote
guy.
Yeah, he wrote a lot of the most famous
Yeah,
X-Men
yeah.
runs, and like he wrote them in a way that it was very much a gay allegory and an allegory for anyone who was discriminated against. He tried, like, he didn't do it the best way all the time, okay? He had some pretty shitty writing, and some of the stuff he did was not right. But, like, the allegory was there. It literally was the main focus of all of the storylines, was this discrimination against a group of people that didn't really deserve it because they're trying to help other people. So it's like, you just completely disregard that whole concept.
It's
I don't.
insane to me. I can't wrap my head
Not
around
to mention-
how people can be so dense.
Not to mention, I think that the whole Charles Xavier starting a school, like, and taking in these young kids who have power, who are like literally being kicked out of their homes. Like, a lot of them are orphans at this point, or like
Yeah.
just completely what's it called when your parent disowned from their family, because like, or they were put in jail because their powers manifested in a violent way. So it's like, it's very much like a found family type of like giving people refuge from the hostile environments
Charles
that they
Xavier
grew up
is the
in.
YMCA.
He literally is, though. That's the funniest part.
He is
For
like,
mutants,
all
he
of
is
the
the
village people.
YMCA.
Those original X-Men that went to Krakoa, the YMCA, they're the village people.
It's just so funny to me that people could just like not understand any of that
Yeah,
and be like
it's
die-hard
crazy.
fans. Like they are die-hard fans of it and they don't understand any of it.
I think
But,
you could
whatever.
like, you know what? Let's try something because we're gonna go on the off the cuff. Usually when I ask somebody like, "What is your favorite film?" I ask people for their 3 favorite films because you can kind of get like a gauge for like the type of person that they are by like their 3 favorite films. Who are your 3 favorite comic book characters?
I like
So come on.
the same characters. Okay, actually, I always say Spider-Man
matter
because
if
he's
they're the
so
same
easy, but I
characters.
feel like I shouldn't say it because he's the most popular character ever. So disregarding Spider-Man, because obviously I like him, but Nightcrawler, Nightwing, and I would say Black Panther probably.
Ooh, I thought Rogue or X-23 might be in there.
I like them, but like Nightcrawler is my top X-Men, and then I don't
Black
know.
Panther's
I
like
feel
the
like
best Avenger, and
yeah,
yeah, and obviously Nightwing, DC.
the best DC character ever created
Yeah.
on Earth.
See, it's
I
weird
made a
for me because
TikTok.
I wouldn't even consider Spider-Man as like one of my favorite superheroes.
That's
I'm
funny.
on like the other end of the spectrum. What did you post on TikTok?
I posted because there was this trend. It was like every Marvel fan has a favorite Marvel character. Every DC fan has a favorite DC character. I was like, every comic book fan has a favorite Marvel and DC character, and it was Nightwing and Nightcrawler. And I was like, fun-loving blue acrobats that grew up in the circus.
Yeah.
Just me and them go crazy.
I mean, they are very, very cool visually. They're very,
Yeah.
very appealing. What about...
And Nightcrawler's a newer one. I only just recently got into him, but
Oh,
he's
really?
taken it by storm. I love him so much.
I still need to get around to reading that 2004 run.
It's so good.
I'm trying
It's
to
actually like heartbreaking.
I'm trying to like mentally figure out like who my 3 would be. But I can't get past 2. Because I'm like, I only really like 2, and they're the obvious Wiccan and Hulkling.
Oh,
There
okay.
isn't really like a third. What's that? Oh, okay. Have you suddenly become homophobic?
What's a DC one? Do you have like a favorite DC?
See, oh god, it would just be a cop out for me to say Batman.
Yeah.
But like Batman's the one that I've read Batman's stories I find the most interesting because, as you well know, I like my detective thriller shit.
Yeah.
Like my Silence of the Lambs, my Long Legs. And like that's all very Batman-y, I feel like. Like they're all very sort of like dark, grim, artsy. You know, I enjoyed watching Seven. I like Mindhunter, that kind of shit. So Batman is like the immediate one, but I don't know. I feel like I don't really enjoy the character as much as I maybe used to, but that's more because like I'm just so like enveloped in like Marvel stuff.
Yeah.
And also, like we've spoken about before, it's kind of difficult to like genuinely enjoy some DC stuff sometimes because of the fan base and fucking
Can
James
be.
Gunn.
Ugh.
What am I trying to say? We're contributing to the toxicity of it.
Who's your
very,
favorite James Gunn character?
Vigilante.
I haven't even seen it.
I've never watched a single Peacemaker episode all the way through because I can't stand it.
Oh God.
But Vigilante.
We should
You've got to
put
pick.
Peacemaker on the list.
You've got to pick two of your favorite Marvel characters and then your favorite James Gunn creation.
I
that's what
like
kind of human you are.
Weasel.
Of course,
I
you
like
do.
Weasel from he was in Suicide Squad and he was in Creature Commandos. They brought him back
Yeah.
because he didn't die in the
No, he
the
didn't.
Suicide Squad movie.
It's one of the glaring questions that I have after that film of like, how did they not know that he was alive and why didn't he just blow up after he woke back up? How was he? How did he get off the island? Is any of that even still canon?
No, definitely not.
God, I can't wait for you to actually watch Peacemaker so that we can talk about that though.
I've heard though, like some spoilers for Peacemaker if you want to know.
Oh, I already know.
In the new season, you know what?
All of it. So if you want to talk about it, then we can talk about it now.
Well, Rick Flag Jr.
is
in the second season.
Yes, he is.
The actual guy who played him in both Suicide Squad movies.
He
I
is
don't know
back.
his name, but yeah. You said what? What's his name?
Joel Kinnaman.
Joel Kinnaman. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Which that was exciting. I saw him on because James Gunn's doing that weird podcast where he talks about every single episode that comes out. So I saw him on that podcast.
Of course he is. Of course
Just
he is.
On TikTok, I was scrolling. I saw like a little clip of him talking about being back for this season. And I was like, oh!
Oh my god.
That's exciting.
I didn't know he was doing that. And that's like the best thing that you could have told me. I'm like, of course he is.
It's him and one of the other actors in the show. That I'll tell you if we ever watch it. I'll tell you, but I don't know who it is. I can't say his name.
Okay, well, do you know any other spoilers apart from? I know that you know that Lex is in it.
Yeah. It has to do with alternate dimensions. I know that definitely it's the KKK is involved.
Okay.
You know, all the important shit.
Yeah.
So I'm excited to actually get in to watch it, just because I kind of enjoyed the first season. I thought it was interesting.
I don't think that I've been secondhand watching it.
Yeah.
Like I'll watch it through reaction videos of it because I just can't. I don't have the attention span to sit there and watch like almost an hour long of this TV show about characters that I just don't care for.
Yeah.
But I do think the themes of it are interesting.
There are a couple. Yeah, there's a lot of characters that are just kind of there that you have to learn to love. But
I mean, if it was an entire vigilante show, now we're talking.
It's terrible because he is the best character and everybody hates him.
Really?
Yeah.
Who hates him?
Everybody is really annoyed that he's around.
In the show.
Yeah.
Oh, I think that changes quite a bit for season 2. He starts making some friends.
That's good. That's good to know.
It
was making me sad.
Yeah, there's a really amazing meme in season 2 that I'm holding off. This is my like David Tennant is returning to Doctor Who moment where I'm like, I don't want to tell you it. I want you to see it yourself first and then we can enjoy it together.
Oh, jeez.
And then you're not going to like it.
And then I'm going to be like, wait, what? This is so dumb.
Yeah.
That was so funny. I didn't mean to react that way. I did think it was insane. But I was just, so confused.
The worst moment of my entire life.
The build-up was probably crazy.
We were watching it, and I'm on the brink of tears because it's a really heartfelt send-off to Jodie's character. Barely even watched it that much, to be fair, but I still really enjoy her version of the Doctor.
Yeah.
And I was just like, come on, here we go. And then you were just like, what? And you were like, oh, okay. But to be fair, when he first left as well, in that, goodbye scene, I remember, I was in bits, and you were angry. So I should have really expected...
I was so mad.
Yeah, I should have really expected some sort of, fucking off-kilter response from you, based off of that.
It was just, I was just not expecting it at all. I was expecting, like the
Oh,
new Doctor.
yeah,
I
yeah,
was
yeah.
like
You were expecting
literally,
Shooty.
yeah, I was like literally, like ready for it. I was like, hell yeah, let's go. As much as it was like, yeah, you're right, sad, really sad situation to lose a Doctor. Even
And
that one,
very
that was,
gay. Sharing an ice cream together on top of the TARDIS. Very, very homosexual.
but I was ready.
You were ready.
I was ready to see him. Yeah.
You were so ready that we've not watched a single episode since.
We did.
We watched the
watched
Christmas
that one.
special. And then never went
That's
back
not
to
even
it.
the. We do need to pick that back up again. We got too many things to watch right now. We're gonna have to loop back.
The reason we haven't gone back to Doctor Who is because I don't know if the show is ending. And I don't, as much as I do like, oh, we watched the one with the babies and we watched Maestro. Okay.
Yes,
I remember.
we did.
We did actually
The Music
start
Maestro
the season.
was fucking phenomenal.
Yes. One of my
Fucking
favourite
phenomenal.
Doctor Who episodes. Really, really love that one. But yeah, I don't know if the show's going to end. So, like, if it does end, I don't want us to be, like, bummed out that it ends. Because, like, we know that Billie Piper's come in.
Right.
So if she never gets any, like, if it never gets any kind of resolution, I don't want to be left on that cliffhanger. I'd rather just, like, accept that we never finished the show rather than, like, the show never finished.
Oh God.
Because that's horrible. I hate when shows get cancelled. I hate when, like...
Didn't people
What?
not like when Billie Piper was like when they said that she was coming back?
Yeah, it wasn't the best received.
Which is so sad.
I think it's because people saw it as, like, another David Tennant moment. Where, like, he clearly came back because of the Disney acquirement. And, like, they clearly brought Billie Piper back to try and gain viewers. And it kind of just feels a little bit, like, half-hearted. And not actually, like, oh, well, we'll figure it out later as to why she's back.
Oh, yeah.
Which I do understand, but at the same time, a lot of these people that are complaining about her returning weren't watching the show. Mm-hmm. So, you know... fucking figure out whether or not you want to watch it to begin with.
Yeah.
Anyway, what have you been reading?
I've been reading some comic books.
You've actually been reading some comic books?
Yeah, not the ones I'm supposed to be reading, but other ones that are
Not
more
your
fun.
assigned comic books, but you've been reading nonetheless. You've been practicing.
Yup.
What have you been reading?
I've been reading Alias. It's a Jessica Jones comic book, if you're not familiar with the title.
Is it
it's,
pre-Civil War?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's, like, pre a lot of things.
Okay.
I actually... Some of the stuff going on in it, I kind of need to, like... I want to go back and, like, see, because they bring up some storylines that are crazy. But, there are a lot of Avengers, like, cameos in it.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of, like, I wasn't expecting that as much. I didn't realize she was, like, really intertwined with, like, the superheroes, because obviously I mostly know her from the Marvel TV show. But, and they weren't allowed to use, like, any characters in that, like, at all.
Yeah. See, I knew that she was quite heavily tied to the Avengers, but I know that she's, like, a huge retcon.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, because when in the show, she doesn't deal with a lot of supers. Like, she does some,
Yeah.
but most of the people she deals with are, like, regular day-to-day people. In this, she's dealing with supers, like, all the fucking time. Like,
Ooh.
that's what she specializes in.
Yeah.
She's still, like, and it's
Is she
really
a PA?
cool.
Not PA, PI?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It starts out with her being a private investigator, which is amazing. Like, I really like the detective stuff, and the art style is really fucking cool. The way they do some of the issues are pretty awesome, too. Like, I don't know. Some of them are, like, interview style. So they
Ooh.
have, like, script, basically, instead of, like,
Yeah.
people actually conversing in dialogue in the bubbles. like when she's on the phone, I guess, or when she's like doing an interview. It's really fucking interesting.
Like when they do the the audio recordings.
Yeah.
They're like, the time
Like
is 0700 on 9/11.
It's like a transcript.
Yeah, yeah. What about Kilgrave?
He actually isn't in it that much. He's like sort of looming in the background for a bit of it, and he comes in at the end.
Okay.
The way that they build the story is really fucking cool because, like I said, they started out as a PI, so you have to, as you read it, learn about what happened in her past. Because I think we looked it up, and she's not actually in any other comic books, to be honest.
Yeah, no, she's never like her time as Jewel is pretty much only ever spoken about. There's no like Jewel comic. There's no like Avengers comics where she is Jewel as part of the team. It's always like, you know, she was very briefly Jewel at some point in her life, but the focus is on her here and now as a PI or like a journalist or whatever it is that she's doing for the story.
So that's pretty much like my spoiler-free review. Now I kind of want to get into the spoilers.
That's fine. You can. It's 20 years old. If anybody hasn't seen it, then
or read it.
Nobody reads comic books. It's fine.
Learn about it from me and my limited viewpoint.
Yeah. The only thing that we won't be spoiling is Secret Wars until you get to it, and then we'll be fucking guns ahoy.
Yeah. In the I keep like relating it to the TV show, but like in that
it did
he just sees her out one day, like regularly. You can see like where the inspiration was taken 100%. Like even they have the scene where she throws the dude through the window. Yeah. It's literally one of the first panels that you read it's the Alias Investigations window, and she fucking tosses a guy through it, and then the police come and they're like questioning her, like, why'd you, like, you actually had to throw him through the window, and she like, he tried to attack me because I told him his wife was cheating on him, but they think that she used like excessive force because she's got powers.
Yeah.
And that's, like, where you first see, like, Jewel is, like, she's got a picture on the wall, and one of the police officers asks, like, oh, you used to be one of them? She's like, kind of.
Oh, that's interesting.
But and then as she's going through these, like, really, honestly, all the cases she's working are pretty fucking crazy. Like, she does one where she's supposed to tail this girl and, like, or find out where she is because her quote-unquote sister says that she's missing, and she trails her to her house where she's living with this guy, and then she finds out that the guy is actually Captain America.
Oh,
and
right.
Captain America has a secret identity, which I didn't know.
Like
I didn't know
Matches
Captain
Malone.
America. Yeah, I didn't know Captain America ever had a secret identity. So it was really cool.
What's his secret identity?
Well, I don't think they actually get into that. Or say, like, his, like... I can't remember if they ever said his name.
I want it to be, like, Scratch's Skrillone. Like, something clearly ripped off of Batman.
Yeah, like, she got him on camera, like, changing into the outfit and everything. So that's was, funny. Like... And somebody had, like, wanted her to do that and, like, sell the tape or, like, give it up. And then they were framing her for the guy's wife's murder, Captain America's wife's murder, to, like, get her to give up the tape. But then Matt Murdock is in it. His
wife?
Well, she's dead. It was his girlfriend.
Yeah, but, like... Because he has a relationship with Sharon Carter.
I might have the panels here. Hold on. Because I'm making an edit of the comic book, and so I have, like screenshots of all of the panels.
Let me just resort to my references of 80,000 screenshots from comic books I've been reading over the past year. My tablet is, like, jam-packed of comic book panels. The worst thing they ever did was digitizing comics. At the same time, though, also the best thing that they did. But I'm fairly certain there's, like, a whole storyline where, like, him and Sharon have a kid. And, like, Peggy tries to go after it. There's also a storyline where, like, his kid becomes Red Skull, which is pretty wild. I don't know
Okay,
if
yeah, I
that's
don't
the
have a
Ultimate
panel
Verse
that
or
says
not.
her name. I don't think she's really that important.
No, maybe it's
'Cause,
just
like I said, she's dead.
yeah, maybe it's just oh well, this just a thing that only happened in the Jessica Jones comic.
Yeah, it definitely could be. But anyway, to get out of like going to jail, Matt Murdock becomes her lawyer, because she tried to get help from Luke Cage because they apparently know each other.
Apparently,
Which
they might know each other.
he's a pretty important character, but he's not in it as much, even though he's super important to the story.
Just a little bit important.
But actually, Matt Murdock is being outed as Daredevil during this time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he's fighting the allegations. He's suing everybody who's saying that he's Daredevil.
That's interesting,
But
because when I picked up at like a 2012 issue of Daredevil, he had like returned to New York after like a period of being away because he was away because of his identity getting revealed.
yeah,
So I'm curious as to like whenabouts Alias takes place and whether it's like just a like a floating kind of event that you can kind of read at any point and it makes sense.
yeah, that was one of the things I wanted to like go back and see if I could find something about Daredevil being outed as Matt Murdock, because that would be an interesting like storyline. But then like everybody always talks about how comic books. I mean, we've been talking about it. I've been making jokes.
By everybody, we mean us.
No, literally everybody about how
Oh.
comic books are turning woke and everything.
Oh, yeah.
But I just think it's funny because there was this one storyline in one issue, and it was about this missing girl who Jessica had to like find and like see if she was even still alive. They thought something happened to her because apparently at school she was outed as being a mutant.
Oh, right.
Even though we find out she's actually like not a mutant, but she didn't deny it when somebody called her one, and then she was getting like bullied at school because of it.
Yeah.
And then one of the reporters in the town told Jessica to go to this church on Sunday, and she shows up to the church, and there's this priest giving this sermon, and he's not talking to like he's like practicing his sermon, to an empty church, so she's the only one there.
Yeah.
And he's basically going on and on about how mutants aren't children of God and how they're an accumulation of like humans' greed.
Yeah.
And how we shouldn't be accepting these people even though God says to accept everybody. So Jessica goes fucking off on him and tells him like he's hypocritical to believe these things, and basically threatens him that if he has anything to do with this girl being missing, that she's going to come back and find him. And he didn't even know that she was outed to be a mutant. So he didn't have anything to do with it, but I just thought that was like just an interesting storyline to have in there. Especially because Jessica Jones isn't a mutant.
It kind of like harkens back to the original version of Stryker, because Stryker in the comics is Reverend Stryker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the biggest opposition to the mutants is a religious figure.
Wow.
So, like, I don't understand how, like, any more on the nose you can really be about it, but,
yeah. I have this screenshot. I have this screenshot of one of the panels, and it's her in the bathroom, and she looks over, and somebody wrote on the stall, "Jesus was a mutant," which is funny because, like, obviously,
yeah, obviously
they say
was.
he did things. They say he did things that seemed like they would be superpowers, so it's kind of interesting.
This links us back to the Eyes of Wakanda talk, because I would fucking love like a Marvel history of like Da Vinci was a mutant. Jesus was a mutant. Like
that
these
would be
big,
cool.
like the important like fucking who's the guy with Newton? Was it no? Newton was gravity. Oh, who did the electricity? Fuck, we had this conversation
it was
last
Thomas
time.
Edison.
Yes. What if Thomas
No,
Edison?
that's the light bulb. That's the light bulb. Ben
Who did
Franklin?
the kite?
Is that a president? I don't understand.
No, it is Ben Franklin. It's Ben Franklin. He's in
There's
an
too
Assassin's
many-
Creed game.
There's too many people.
I have to like whenever we bring up like American history or like history at all, I have to like go through an encyclopedia of Assassin's Creed games in my head, because there's like a famous person in every single one. the guy that invented the telephone is in Assassin's Creed Syndicate, and that's the only reason I know who Alexander Bell is.
Oh, wow. I thought that was a president, too.
Anyway, I think it would be fucking interesting if, like, you know, fucking Newton, Edison, whoever you want, Benjamin Franklin, like, some of these people were mutants, and we got, like, a little bit of a, you know, just one issue coverage of, like, their life, but if they were in the MCU, in the Marvel universe, and if they were a mutant, that would be cool. They wouldn't obviously do Jesus.
You could, though.
I could. I definitely could. I certainly could. In my next Marvel pitch, confirmed Phase 1, we're going to get a whole Jesus film.
God, I could talk about this comic forever.
Passion
There's so much that happened. Captain Marvel was in it.
Oh, Marvel?
No.
Oh. Carol?
No, she's friends with Carol, yeah. She's like, they used to be friends when she was
Captain
Jewel.
Marvel, you actually mean Miss Marvel.
Sure.
Yeah. You've got to get these things right, Ryan.
I don't have to. But she sets her up on a date with Ant-Man Scott Lang.
Ugh.
And
Wait,
it's
Jessica
so funny.
Jones.
Yeah, it's so funny. It's honestly the funniest thing that happens. I thought that they were actually going to get together in the end, but they don't end up doing that. But that comes back. She goes on this, like... There's this girl that ends up at her house, and she's in a Spider-Man costume, and there's another Spider-Woman. I didn't know this Spider-Woman. I can't remember her name now, of course. It would be nice if I could. Oh, Maddie something. But she's like a kid, and she's gone missing. And so obviously Jessica's trying to find her, and she calls Jessica Drew, who's not on Earth at the moment, or somewhere else doing something. So that's who, like, knows this other Spider-Woman. Obviously, Spider-Woman's together or whatever. Is this other
Spider-Woman Ginger?
I don't think so. She had, like, brown hair.
Oh, okay. I'm like, immediately my brain's going, this is who Sadie Sink's playing. Ryan has sussed it out. Ryan has figured out the character. That would be crazy.
But the craziest part is when she finds this girl, she's with these dudes in this club where she's underage, so she's not supposed to be there. And the people are taking her skin and smoking it and getting powers from her. They're like lighting it up like it's fucking meth, and they're smoking her like skin. It's fucking insane. She's a Spider-Woman. She's just got powers.
Oh.
It's like I guess a new drug people are using where they literally just fucking... And they got her drugged up, so she doesn't even know what's fucking happening.
Oh my
God.
like,
it's pretty much like a sex trafficking to the extreme situation. But she doesn't manage to get her away from them. She gets fucked up by the guy who got the powers from smoking her, like... Jessica Jones gets fucked up by him. So she doesn't manage to get Maddie out of there. But then Jessica Drew shows up, who also is a private investigator, which is funny.
Yeah,
Two Jessicas. And at first, Jessica Drew thinks that Jones had something to do with it, so fucks her up with electricity.
Oh my god.
And yeah, so Jessica Jones is not very happy about that and knocks her out. But then they eventually figure out that neither of them were the cause of the problem, and so they go to help find the kid, and they manage to figure that out. But that's where you get, like, your first glimpse of Kilgrave and, like, what happened with them. Because they get into a scuffle with some other guy that was there that was also trying to help the girl, but he's, like, really bad at using his powers. So then she starts having, like, a hallucination of this guy coming, like, out, and then she's facing the Avengers, and, like, they start attacking her, and then she wakes up, and then she manages to get Maddie out of there, so that's the end of that storyline. Then you get, like, kind of into her backstory, which I told you they had her have a crush on Peter Parker. She went to school with him.
Yeah.
So that was really crazy to see that.
Peter Parker's friend that never was, because, like, obviously if you go back and read classic Spider-Man stories, she ain't fucking there.
Well, they're not friends. That's the thing. I think she's like a nerd like him, so
Yeah,
she's
but
not
she's
friends
not
with anybody.
even she's not even like a side character, nothing. Like it's a huge
Yeah.
retcon that they are even the same age.
Yeah. It doesn't really make sense. But you get her whole storyline of the family getting into a car accident, and there's like this isotope that's on the military vehicle that they crash into. That's what gives her her powers. All her family's dead.
All right.
It's really terrible.
Is
So
it
then she
shown how
finds
she
out-
gets her powers in the show?
I think that
They hint
Yeah, but
towards
it
the
was
car
because-
crash, don't they? But it's
no,
not.
no, it was because she got into the car crash and then she was experimented on after that
Oh, okay.
to like save her life. It was like an experimental like, and then when she gets adopted, she finds out after that she has powers.
Hopefully, we get like a little bit more on that then.
But yeah, after
Born
that, she kind of like goes crazy for a minute, and then we get more like actual backstory of Kilgrave and like what happened with him because she starts telling it to Luke Cage.
See, he's
She's, like,
in the
confiding-
military,
confiding
isn't
in him. Who?
he? Kilgrave.
No.
Oh, I thought he was like a army guy or like a mercenary or something. Doesn't he get like a barrel exploding near him?
Well, they don't explain how he got his powers. He's just like
Oh, right. Okay.
the antagonist. The way they meet is she just shows up to a confrontation and tries to break it up, and he like takes hold of her
Ah.
like right there because she's a superhero and he fucking hates superheroes.
Crazy that
So basically-
Kilgrave doesn't get more exposure considering how powerful he is.
Dude, it's scary. He has her for months. And
Yeah.
she says that like he didn't do anything to her because like he would just like psychologically torment her. But at the end of it, he gets really upset about Daredevil saving the city, and he tells her to go out and kill Daredevil. Like, put on her superhero outfit and just go fucking kill him.
Yeah.
So she does like she's been fucked up. She doesn't really know what's going on. So she goes out and she finds the first person in red that she sees, which is the Avengers are getting back from an off-world mission, and she knocks Wanda up the fucking head. Just fucking dives her. And then she gets, like, knocked out of whatever control Kilgrave had on her, so she's, like, freaking out, and all the Avengers are ready to fucking kill her. Because she just whopped Wanda right in front of them. And so she, like, runs, and they chase her, and she manages... Because Thor was one of the people that caught up to her, and Luke Cage is like, I didn't think you could take a hit from Thor's hammer, and she was like, I couldn't, I barely missed him, but then she got caught by Vision, and Vision just fucking, like, took her to the ground. He said she broke her spine.
Oh my days.
Yeah, it was fucked up. But then, after that, she decides she needs to go see Kilgrave, because, I guess she doesn't decide it. A bunch of people call her, because
Yeah.
Carol had told them that she had a past with Kilgrave, and they need... Because he is in prison right now because the Avengers managed to, like, take care of him. He's in the raft, and he's admitted to a bunch of crimes, but he won't admit to some of them. And so, like, there's a bunch of families that don't have closure for the things that happened to their family members because of this.
Yeah.
So, because of that, she has to go talk to him to try and get him to confess. He breaks the fourth wall and starts talking about the comic book readers and the comic book writers, and that shit was cool.
That's wild.
It was, and he was like, I know you talk to them. I know that you like when they look at you. It was really fucked up. So he was tormenting her with that, and then he fucking, she leaves because he doesn't actually admit to anything, and she's, like, fed up with it. So she takes off and then finds out that he's escaped from the raft, like, the next panel.
Yeah.
So the craziest part was after he escapes, he ends up breaking into her house, and she wakes up, because she was with Ant-Man at this point. She wakes up, she looks over, and he's covered in ants. He's dead.
Ugh.
Like, and she starts freaking the fuck out, and then she sees Kilgrave sitting there and is like, why would you do this? And he was like, it's just what I wanted you to see, and basically turns off, like, whatever he had told her to see. And Scott's just laying there, kind of dead, because he had told him to, like, lay still so he can't move.
Yeah, yeah.
So he had put the image of him dying in her head, which is really fucking
I didn't know that
scary.
you could do that.
I didn't either. Like, see him, like, you can just tell her to imagine,
I guess
hallucinate
you can,
him dead.
Like, it fits in line with his powers.
Yeah. But
is it still
he
like
gains,
a proximity thing with him though?
It definitely is. You have to be around him in order
Okay.
for him to affect you. Because she managed to get, like, when she... Stop it, bro. She managed to get, like, away from him after hurting the Avengers, and then his hold was broken on her. But there's, like, this... After he had a hold of her the first time, and she gets knocked unconscious, she went into a coma for a while. And she wouldn't come out of it until they had somebody help her, and that person to help her was actually Jean Grey.
All right.
So that was kind of cool. We got a Jean Grey cameo. And then that comes back at the end of it, because he's got a hold of her again, and he's walking her down the street trying to get her to fight the Avengers. But then, apparently, Jean Grey, who at this point I think is dead, but she put, like, a psychic image of herself inside of Jessica's head in case this ever happened again.
Oh, it's like a failsafe.
Yeah, allowed her to unlock herself from his control.
That's pretty cool.
And she just decks the shit out of him.
Yeah.
And ends it there. So
Like some
she
fucking
takes him
Sherlock
out.
Holmes Mind Palace shit.
Yeah. So that was pretty cool. And so that's how she defeats Kilgrave. But then you find out that she's pregnant. And it is Luke Cage's baby.
Well, that's a relief.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it's part of that, but I've seen like a comic book cover of her laid in bed with a purple baby.
Oh, gosh.
So.
Oh, I hope to God. Okay, because I'm still reading The Pulse, which comes right after Alias.
It might be part of that then.
It might be. That makes me. You might have just spoiled something for me.
Well, it might be a like a hallucination, or it could be fucking anything.
Yeah.
But I've definitely, like, I don't know. The thing with, see, I wish Marvel did this more. Why are they not, like, pumping out these cool, like, detective, grounded, like, stories like Jessica Jones? Like, I don't know if Jessica Jones has got a run right now, but she should have a run right now.
Yeah.
And, like, I think I said it before about, like, Scarlet Witch. Scarlet Witch has got, like, maybe 2 runs in the last decade. And one, like, I don't know if she had it like a solo run during Marvel Now. I just kind of assume that she doesn't, because, I don't know, it was like post Children's Crusade and she wasn't doing much. But she got like 1 run in 2016 and then like a fucking team up with Quicksilver run, right? Like, how are you gonna have like such cool characters like Scarlet Witch, Jessica Jones, like, that you could do so much with because their power sets and their personalities are so unique, and then just not do anything with them? Like, they just sit there.
It sucks because you do have to have like a good writer to tackle those things. I feel like they just don't have the people who want to work on that kind of story. But I really do feel like they should push something like that, because it's really interesting to see like how, in a world of superheroes, how you deal with like mundane things, like someone's wife cheating on them, like
throwing somebody through a door.
Yeah. So it's just very, very interesting, and dealing with the police when you're superpowered.
Yeah.
Like, she's constantly discriminated against. She gets like into a relationship with this cop in that small town I was telling you about, and she ends up freaking out at night, and he puts her in jail. So she wakes up in jail after having a night with this guy. And he's trying to be like, I still like you and everything. But it's like, you just put me in jail, bro. Like, what? It was just crazy.
So what is next on your list? What are you doing next?
Well, I'm still doing The Pulse. I have to do,
oh, right, yeah.
I have to do more Avengers and New Avengers for the Secret Wars stuff. I think I have to get like into that. And then I also plan to do some Bucky Barnes
Of
comic book
course.
reading because I want to know, the actual comic storyline of him and then him becoming the Winter Soldier. I'd really like to get into that.
I went onto the library on the app, and every so often I'll go onto it to just like I'll misclick or whatever because I don't really use it that much. But I'll like misclick and it'll open up, and suddenly like a rush of comics will be added to it, and I'm like, wait, what the fuck is Ryan reading now? Because you added something. It was like a series of comics, and it was like a
Oh,
bunch of one-offs.
yeah, they're like these. I
Are they
forgot I
origin
even.
stories or something?
They're it's basically the next generation of these heroes. Like,
Oh,
I read the Spider-Man one and the Hawkeye one, and it's basically like Miles Morales Spider-Man gets sent
yeah,
back to Peter Parker, like something that he was dealing with before in the comics.
yeah.
Like he basically gets sent back in time. And then I did the Hawkeye one, and that one, like Kate Bishop Hawkeye gets sent to like this place where Hawkeye's on an island,
Okay.
like try like there's like this thing for like best marksman in the world or whatever. So he's doing that. So they get it's like
It's
the
a
new
series of
generation gets sent back.
legacy
Legacy, there you
characters.
go. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, they have a bunch of one-offs of different ones, and they have an Ironheart one. Oh, they have a Totally Awesome Hulk one, which you would probably fuck with.
Yeah, probably.
A Sam Wilson and Steve Rogers Captain America,
That's the one that I
Captain Marvel and
saw.
Captain Marvel.
Oh, yeah, those two. I saw those two. And that was like, I was like, oh, what is going on here? What is this series? Because I've never even heard of that.
Yeah,
So I
I
thought
don't
that was
know how
interesting.
I like
Yeah, I don't know how
stumbled
you
upon
find
it,
these fucking
but
things.
it was fucking the Spider-Man one was really cool. I really liked that. It was kind of heartfelt because it was something happened and Aunt May is sick and he's waiting at home for like the call from the doctors to see if like what he did to help save her is actually going to save her life. And Miles comes in at that point. So he's not out being Spider-Man, he's Peter Parker. And it's just really like I don't know.
That sounds like Brand New Day. Is it Brand New Day? One More Day?
I
I
don't
can't
know.
remember the name of that storyline. It's like the 2007 storyline where he makes a deal with Mephisto to save Aunt May at the cost of losing Mary Jane.
Well, I don't think Mephisto was involved because it was like some kind of medical thing, but I don't know. Maybe
No,
it
but that's
was.
why I'm thinking maybe it was like right after that. If like he's now waiting to see whether or not it worked.
Right.
But I don't know without reading it. I don't know if I want to read that story because people say it's really bad. But, you know,
I don't
to
think
be
it would be
fair,
important to the Generations one, but
most no, never mind, I won't say that.
that's what it's called. It's called Generations.
Okay.
The
Yeah,
run.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I've been reading The Illuminati.
Oh hell yeah.
It's a really good run, and I definitely recommend that you do it at some point. It isn't really essential to Secret Wars, even though the Illuminati are in it. It kind of just adds context as to like how they were created. It's by Bendis, which I think also he wrote Alias, I'm pretty certain.
Oh wow.
And it basically builds up mostly Secret Invasion, because I'm going to be reading that pretty soon. But I kind of took a detour and I started reading the Mighty Avengers from 2004, which is the team of Wasp, Sentry, Miss Marvel, Iron Man, Black Widow, and Ares. So a really strange team of Avengers. And
Yeah.
it's gonna like at some point that run like kind of coincides with Secret Invasion. So I just went. You have to start like issue 14, and I was like, at that point, I might as well just read the other issues. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, the Illuminati run was really cool. I think I mentioned it last time we recorded, actually. I'm not sure. Maybe I just mentioned it to you off camera, but I said about Reed... Oh, we were playing Rivals and I said it, and I mentioned Reed Richards with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, you
Ugh.
get to see, like, how the Illuminati get the Infinity Stones. You get to see them interact with the Beyonder. You get to see, like, what the Beyonder has been up to since the events of Secret Wars, the first one. Which is pretty interesting. You get like a bit of origins for him, and then you get like the slow build up towards Secret Invasion. There's one specific issue which has become one of my favorite issues that I've read just period with comic books, and it's just all of them sat around a table after Doctor Strange has broken up with Clea, and they're all just talking about their past flings. And
Oh jeez.
Iron Man's like, oh yeah, I shagged Madame Mask before. And they're all like, doesn't Madame Mask look like Doctor Doom? And he's like, yeah, we're not going to talk about that. It's just a really, really great,
That's
like,
so funny, bro.
grounded episode. I was like, that would be great to see in live action.
I think you sent me that panel actually.
More than likely, because it is the funniest thing that I've read so far. It was
With the
really,
context
really great.
of Iron Man and Doctor Doom and RDJ and everything is kind of funnier.
Yeah, definitely. They're like, they're running adjacent alongside each other
Yeah.
to finally clash together in live action. But no, it was a really great run, and I'm going to start Secret Invasion pretty soon. I'm now, because we're doing comics in a bit of a strange order, where like we read the build up to Secret Wars, and then like after I did that, I then, instead of continuing forward, I've gone back. And I'm now reading the build up to Secret Wars. Like the build up to the build up of Secret Wars.
Oh wow.
So
Well,
I'm gonna do Secret Invasion.
Sometimes you just want to read a run, but then there's like interesting stuff that they're talking about, so you're like, wait, what happened?
Yeah.
I gotta go back and look at that.
Well, with like I don't know, I do really like the Skrulls just in general. They're one of my favorite like little corners of MCU cosmic. I think they're really interesting, like the shape-shifting, great intelligent species kind of thing. And then obviously them being tied to the thing with the Kree and like Captain Marvel, and then it like comes back around to Hulkling. I like, it's a very long running thing through Marvel for like the Skrulls to be around and kind of lurking in the background. So with us watching the TV show, I was like, well, I might as well read the fucking comic so I can figure out like why people are so pissed about the show.
Yeah,
And then
I mean that's pretty cool.
that ends up leading into the Dark Avengers anyway, and like the Thunderbolts becoming the Dark Avengers, and like Norman Osborn and stuff. So it seems like a pretty good time for like Marvel comics. So I'm quite excited to like get into the thick of it. But it's
Cool.
really difficult like not getting sidetracked and like going off and reading like this random like 8-issue run by like somebody else that's not at all related.
Yeah. There's so much to read. It's hard to stay focused.
If only I could have like somebody read it all for me and then like implant it in my brain. I haven't returned to Ultimate Fantastic Four after I did like the first 6 or 7 issues of that, because it was just way too imposing. Like fucking a 50-issue run. I just can't wrap my head around it.
Yeah,
I
that's
might
a
wait
long
until I can
commitment.
get it in physical.
I think it's different when it's coming out, and like obviously like you kind of never want it to end, but then when you're just trying to get into it, you're like, why the fuck did they release so many issues?
Yeah.
Like why?
It's like, it's an easier pill to swallow when it's stuff like Batman as well, because I feel like obviously they pump out Batman stuff, but there's way more like short contained stories that don't fit into a larger timeline with characters like him. Like you can just kind of pick up a Batman event and it kind of works at any point in time, whereas when you're reading like a big 50 or 60 issue run, you know that like, okay, well this is the start of the story here, and the true end to this story is 50 issues away. And it's like, so much time. Are you ready for our rapid fire news?
Yeah.
We've
What's
got
going on in the world?
Not really in the world, it's just two Marvel things and James Gunn, as it always is. So, Hawkeye Season 2 is reportedly happening. It's not been publicly greenlit, but it's apparently in the works and they're planning to do it, despite obviously what we spoke about before with like Jeremy Renner uncertain if he wants to really return based off of like money issues and stuff. But it seems like regardless of if he is actually coming back for it, it's moving ahead.
I saw them post, because they did Marvel Zombies. They posted like them turning this person into
the
zombie
cosplayer.
Hawkeye. Was it a cosplayer? It was on the Marvel's official account.
He looks
so I didn't
so
know.
much like Jeremy Renner.
All the comments were like something like, "This isn't my Hawkeye," or like, "Why would you not bring Renner back?" So I thought it was interesting that people are actually like kind of railing around this, and they agree that it's not right that he's being treated like that. Especially because it's really fun to make fun of Jeremy Renner. So
yeah, I think it's one of those. Not about the accident, of course. About
no.
his personality. Fucking hell. Just some
and his
context. Yeah, mostly the app. Context for people that haven't listened to us talk about it in other episodes, because that sounded really bad. It's got nothing to do with his accident.
No, I felt bad when that happened.
But no, like, he's got like such a weird career trajectory of like trying to become a rock singer, creating his own influencing app, you know, like all of these fucking trying to basically like jumpstart his career outside of the MCU the best he can, and it's not really working for him. He had Tag.
Yeah. That was a good movie.
I didn't watch it.
It was funny. It was a good comedy movie.
He was in the Bourne franchise at some stage. I don't know if it was a what is it? What am I trying to think of?
Reoccurring?
No, not that one.
No.
No, what is it when they do a new version?
Remake.
I don't know if it was a remake, a reboot. I don't know if it was a reboot to the Matt Damon ones or if it was like a continuation of some sort, but he was in a Bourne.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well, maybe we'll watch a Bourne film at some point.
Oh, God. You said who was in it?
What? Matt Damon.
Okay.
I think you might like one of the Bourne films.
What?
A single Bourne. I used to watch those like quite religiously as like a preteen. They're like the edgy James Bond.
Yeah. Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
How do you get edgier than James Bond?
Well, I don't know. We'll find out next week when you review the entire franchise. But yeah,
I don't
anyway,
think we're that quick.
Fucking Hawkeye Season 2 is apparently happening, and it's supposedly scheduled for late 2026, so pretty soon, to be fair. Like, in terms of, considering they haven't started filming it, that's quite a big turnaround. Slash, like, early 2027, and I feel like if they manage to do this, they've got a really good opportunity with, like, the Punisher special presentation and then Hawkeye to really flesh out the Marvel TV side of things, because they're going in hard on Daredevil.
Which like, they should.
Yeah, definitely. Daredevil Born Again Season 3 just got greenlit.
Nice. Already? They haven't
exactly.
finished Season 2.
So, they just finished filming Season 2, and I guess now they're in, like, the editing phase of it, and Vincent D'Onofrio posted on Twitter, like, you know, he didn't outright say that it had been greenlit, but it was obvious.
Yeah.
And yeah, it
so
seems
nice.
like they're all on the same page again, and it's not going to be a shit show.
It is so nice after, like, so many, like, years of them saying that these TV shows that I personally really, really fucking liked were not part of the MCU, that Daredevil is getting such, like, a good reception, and that, like, he's being put into it so seamlessly. It's amazing.
Yeah.
And that they're actually, like, pushing it. Like they're not like, oh, we did one season and now you're never gonna see Daredevil again. Like no, they're like, we're already working on the second season, and that's cool.
Yeah, not only have we already filmed a second season, but we're now also greenlighting a third season before the second one comes out.
That makes me feel so good.
What makes me fucking happy is that we don't have to wait years between seasons. We're gonna have to wait 1 year between each season, which is amazing.
That is nice.
That's how a TV show should be, especially if it's only gonna have like 12 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
We shouldn't be waiting 3 years per season. But I am hoping that they have some connectivity between, you know, it would be great if Daredevil showed up in Secret Wars. It would be great if he showed up in Spider-Man, since we're getting Yelena and Punisher in Spider-Man. You know, it would be great to get Yelena cameoing in Daredevil. Can you imagine? Some Black Widow Daredevil action going on.
I don't know why they would be, but that'd be cool. I mean, they're both in New York now, right?
Yeah. So, and it does seem like... What, go on.
I really think that they should bring Kate Bishop back into Daredevil, especially with the stuff with Swordsman.
Yeah.
And I think that would be a cool way to, like, add on to her character, since obviously I don't think we're getting another... I mean, I don't know. We're getting a Hawkeye season 2, but it would be cool to, like, have them kind of... Or Daredevil cameos in Hawkeye season 2.
Yeah, that would be pretty sick. I think just any kind of connectivity at this point will be pretty welcome.
Yeah.
And, like, it seems like it all takes place at a period of time between Thunderbolts and Doomsday, like that 14-month time jump at the end of Thunderbolts. That seems to be the sweet spot for where Daredevil, Punisher, Hawkeye, like all of this stuff is taking place now.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited for it. I'm happy that Daredevil has got like some consistency going on. And from the behind the scenes, it looks like we're getting a Daredevil versus Kingpin fight inside of his dad's old boxing ring.
Oh, jeez.
Which I cannot fucking wait to see. I hope he wears the red and yellow suit for it. Give me my mustard suit back, please.
Oh, God.
It's my favourite suit. I love it.
Ugh.
In other news, Daredevil's arriving in Marvel Rivals.
Hell yeah.
Are you excited?
I am. He actually looks really fun to play. I will get to play as him in my own games.
We'll host
in a Doom
games.
match.
Oh yeah, a Doom match. I forgot about them.
That's probably exclusively where I'll be using him. Because there's no way. There's no way I'm pulling Daredevil out in a fucking competitive game.
Yeah.
Imagine.
No, he looks great. I can't wait to see what outfits we get.
Me too. I wonder if he'll be released with like a recolor. Maybe they'll do like the black one.
Yeah, I'm guessing the black and red because it's so easy, like easy of a recolor, and it's become such an iconic look despite the story not being very iconic.
Yeah. I feel like even if they did release it on the store, people would buy the fuck out of it.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's going to be a pretty big money maker, I reckon, for the game. And there's, I can't remember what they're called. I think it's like Zoom Figs or something. I'd have to take a look, and I'm not going to right now. But I showed you before, like, there's that company doing the Marvel Rivals Spider-Man and Venom figures ages ago.
Right.
I'm pretty certain it's the same people, but there is a Daredevil Marvel Rivals figure floating around right now. And it looks amazing. Like, you can take bits of the armor off, you can swap their head out for, like, it's got 3 different heads and stuff. Looks brilliant. I really hope that they do a Hasbro one so that it matches my other figures.
Right.
They're doing some Marvel Rivals. But yeah, his design looks great. Like the battle armor. He's caked up. He's caked up to the gods.
I'm still glad they gave him a power up.
Oh yeah, of course. And he's got his... I didn't really see what the ult was. but like he's got some form of blindness in the game that they've managed to like rope into the gameplay, which is also pretty cool. Where like he can't see into the distance that well. He's short-sighted.
People, it would have been really funny if they actually did make it so that your whole screen was black.
That would have been crazy.
Or like just maybe not all black, but like all the things are just lit up red or something. Like instead of actually being able to see the design, like it's just the outline of everything, so you don't run into it, but you can't necessarily like see it.
Well, that's what it is in like the distance thing. It's like a perimeter, and then it kind of fades into like red and black outlines.
That's cool.
I am surprised that they didn't. I'm surprised it's like as long range as it is. I thought it was gonna be even shorter. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to play as him. He comes out pretty soon.
It seems like he can sense enemies from pretty far away too.
Yeah, they're like red blotches, and you can kind of like see them through walls and stuff.
That's gonna be so fucking scary. I hope he can't see Invisible Woman.
I don't think he'll be able to.
I'll be so pissed.
Because, like, she can make everything in her body completely invisible. It's not like... Oh, I don't know if it, like, silences sound, though.
And her heart was to be beating.
Yeah. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you can still hear her anyway. There are people who, like, track you down because if you turn, even if you're not actually walking, but if you turn around, you can hear steps. That's why some people can, like, pick you out and fucking attack you even though you're invisible. It kind of upsets me, but I understand. If you have a good enough headset, of course.
Well, we got some updates about Batman from James Gunn.
Batman!
Yes, that's the one. He spoke about Batman the Brave and the Bold, which is his Batman film that he's going to be... I don't know if he's going to be doing it, actually. I can't remember if he said that... I think the dude that did the Flash film is attached to it, technically.
Are you so for real he's doing Batman Brave and the Bold?
That's just the point of reference that he said that he's using. And that's the name attached to it. I don't know if he's like... Look, I don't know. It's James Gunn.
Blue Beetle must come to the DCU. He must.
He will. I 100% see them just retconning Blue Beetle to be as part of that universe.
Oh my god.
He's made a point of saying that, like... I think we spoke about it last time. He's made a point of saying that Blue Beetle is kind of like a floating film that works if he wants to use it.
Please. Please.
So I definitely think he will. But
I'm pretty sure...
He recently spoke... What?
1 second. Go ahead.
He recently mentioned that things have changed about the Batman the Brave and the Bold film, because when he first brought it up back in like 2020 or whenever DC Fandom happened, it might have been like 2021, he did like his whole Marvel presentation where he was like, we're going to do Gods and Monsters, and this is our first phase, and Lanterns, and Superman Legacy, and whatever. He mentioned Batman the Brave and the Bold during that, and he said that, like, we're going to have a pre-established Bat family, you know, the focus is going to be Batman and Damian, Batman and Robin, that kind of thing. But he said that things have now changed, and that, like, it's completely up in the air right now, like, what they could be focusing on. He said that they've got a plan, but what they said before might not necessarily be the plan.
Okay.
So... Which is interesting as well, because when they showed... So he mentioned Batman the Brave and the Bold, but when they used the reference images, they showed the Grant Morrison Batman and Robin run, which I have read. It's a pretty decent run. But it's Dick Grayson Batman. It's not Bruce Wayne Batman. It's...
Yeah.
It's like pre-New 52.
Yeah, I thought that was mainly when they brought Damian in, like, because there's, like, a point where, I don't know, Dick Grayson's always saying that, like, Damian is his Robin.
Yeah, that's the vibe that I get, but I think that they've done, like, a lot of work to try and make Damian, like, the definitive Robin recently. to the point where Robin is now even like his own character and he's not a sidekick.
Right.
Which, you know, it is what it is.
They already did that with Teen Titans.
That is true. But I know that Damien got, like, you know, a complete outfit redesign. He's got, like, the black and red, and then he got, like, his own comic book run and stuff where he's, like, fighting yetis in the mountains or some shit.
I feel bad because I don't hate Damien, okay? I like Damien. I think we should do Damien. I just don't think he needs to be the first one that we do. I don't think it just, I hate it. I hate when they're just like, let's skip ahead.
Yeah.
Like, I want a little bit of, like, story of why these characters are even together, why they care about being vigilantes. Like, why is Dick Grayson Nightwing? Like, why does he just automatically be Nightwing? It doesn't make it, like,
I definitely think that it's more rewarding if you do the MCU style of, like, a chronological timeline. And, like, you have, like, your Phase 1 Batman film with Dick Grayson, Robin, and then, like, the second film, he's Nightwing, and you do, you know, Jason Todd, Death in the Family kind of thing. You kind of, you know, work your way through each one. But I think he's going for, like, the whole floating timeline, which, this is going to be a fantastic segue. But he's going for the whole floating timeline concept of, like, any film, you know, even though it all takes place in this universe, these aren't chronological, even though clearly Creature Commandos, Superman, and then Peacemaker have all released chronologically so far.
yeah.
So he's kind of like, he said it, but then I think it's just for his Batman stuff, to be honest. I think it's just so that he can get away with releasing Batman stuff wherever and whenever he wants.
Yeah.
Because it is seemingly the most difficult character for him, which we've spoken about before, like his struggles with trying to find the right story and shit.
If he's using Brave and the Bold as a concept help, then I think he'll be able to do a fine job, because that is kind of a ridiculous Batman. But I do think it would make sense that he's not into, like, the grounded, gritty, like, Batman. But then, like, I don't think that Damien is a good storyline for him then, because Damien's storyline is so dark and gritty and sad.
Well, this
he's
is
literally a child assassin. Like, whoa, you can't do that fun and nice.
Flipped on its head, though, where, like, initially it seemed like he was going to go for a more fantastical Batman that's fighting, you know, the big killer Croc taking on Solomon Grundy and the, you know, he can team with the Justice League. But then, when he's brought it up quite recently, it seems more like he wants to do something grounded without stepping on the toes of Matt Reeves. And that's why, instead, he's struggling. I think when, you know, like when we spoke about him saying that everything's already been done, I think that's him basically saying, like, how do I do an accurate Batman film when Matt Reeves has just done the definitive Batman film?
Which is difficult, but that's why you should just use Matt Reeves' Batman. But fine.
Yeah. That's why you should just fucking merge them.
Whatever.
But yeah, he had some comments on it basically saying that, like, you know, we shouldn't expect exactly what we were expecting when he first announced it because things have changed, which, you know, over the course of fucking 4 or 5 years, it's bound to happen at this point.
Yeah. Also, I feel like a lot of people are complaining exactly like we're complaining.
Yeah.
So, and it is really hard to make fans of Batman and fans of, like, the Bat family in general happy. We are all different. We all think different things of what's going on. And there's going to be somebody who's pissed off about what's going on. It's probably going to be me. Because there's no way he's going to do something that I expected or that I would do. But
also, I think not having anything at all doesn't help.
No, it definitely doesn't. I want to see it in the universe, which is why it sucks that he's struggling so much.
I think it would be I'm pretty certain it's edited, right? But people say that in Superman there's like a news report of there being floods in Gotham. If you showed that and, like, officially canonized both the Batman and the Penguin as being canon, yeah, people are going to fucking complain, right? Because there are some people that didn't like the Batman, there's people that don't like Robert Pattinson, there's people that didn't, you know, it didn't have enough action in it. You know, there's going to be people that don't like it, but at least we would have something.
I remember that argument. I forgot that people were upset about it not having enough actions.
Yeah. Films have to be, like, non-stop, you know, beat 'em up brawlers to be a good film. You can't have a detective story anymore. Not in this modern day and age. Even though...
A lot of Batmans there. You should be punching poor people.
Going to see the Batman in the cinema is probably the happiest I've ever been watching a film.
I really enjoyed it when I saw it the first time. I was like, holy fuck. Like, I was not expecting to, like, love that movie.
Yeah.
But I remember when it came out and they, like, released the fucking, they were doing, like, the countdown thing. And then when the movie came out, it, like, released the files for...
Yeah.
That shit was so fucking cool. I felt like a part of the movie. It was, like, nuts.
Yeah, it's one of my, like... I need to find a fucking link to that shit because I still want to print it off and make my own Arkham document.
Yeah.
But like being able to have like the Riddler's journal, that's insane. Films don't do shit like that anymore. That is so fucking cool to have.
Yeah. And it makes your movie live longer in the hearts of people when they have something to take home. Even if it's like when they release a fucking like when Batman came out at my theater, they had the Long Halloween comic book, and it was released again for the Batman movie, and I got to like take that home. And it was like that. And when Thor released Thor: Love and Thunder, I'm pretty sure they had a Thor comic I got to take home. So it's just like those little things that you get to like take with you, or like see online, or like download and be a part of. Like that shit is cool.
Yeah.
And it's cool to have that, even if you're not going to go buy the movie, like the DVD, you know?
Yeah, I can remember so vividly getting the taxi up to, like, the big cinema at the other side of my town. And, like, it was dark. I went and got, like, an expensive donut from Dunkin' Donuts. Like, I was, like, so happy to be there. It was so, like... I was so out of my comfort zone because I'd never been to the cinema, like, when it was dark and, like, late and stuff. And I'm pretty certain the film released, like, in, like, what, March or something? So it was quite dark here in the evening. I'm going to have to Google that because I can't remember. But, yeah, I really fucking... I don't know, I just enjoyed everything about that film. And I think it is a shame that it's... Oh, it is March, 4th of March.
Oh, wow. You really do remember that.
Well, because it was originally meant to be October. And then I remember it getting pushed back. So that's why I remember the date for it. But yeah.
That's funny.
And it came out like around Doctor Strange 2. Because I remember like watching all the spoiler reviews for that film. Because I was like... I don't know. I was kind of in the MCU, but not really in the MCU. Like, in it to a degree, but not enough to go watch the films. I'd passed, like, my point of no return for it. I was like, you know what? Mephisto weren't in WandaVision. I'm not gonna go watch Doctor Strange. The Endgame was good, but they haven't given us Mephisto. This character that I didn't even know at the time.
The stuff Wanda was doing was insane in the fucking movie theater. Like, her crawling out of that shit.
Oh, I wish I had seen it.
I was freaking out. I was like, holy shit! Oh my god.
We have 2 topics left. God, this is going to be a long one. We've been here a while now.
It's almost 2 hours.
I was supposed to turn my heating off like an hour ago. I'm boiling.
You go do that.
Oh, I wanted to get up and do it while you were talking earlier, but I don't know if I could do it quick enough.
I never talked for long enough.
Okay, I want to bring up the concept here of the rolling timeline, because this is something quite interesting that, like, I didn't even realize it was a canonized thing. So, obviously Marvel Comics have been going on for like fucking 70 years at this point. Back when they were old, timely comics. Let me take my jumper off. Oh my god. And like characters like the Fantastic Four, Iron Man, like, they don't age. And I didn't realize that there's, like, an in-universe explanation for this. Did you?
No.
Okay. So, it's part of a Loki story. And, like, some people say that it's been retconned and it's not true. And some people say that, like, there's other things that you can put it down to. But apparently, there's, like, an in-universe reason as to why time moves slower. And, like, specifically for other characters compared to others. So, like, there's a reason that, like, Spider-Man has experienced more in his life than other people. Because, like, you know, he's got more stories that have been written. He's more popular. And, like, he hasn't really aged, or he gets de-aged, or, you know, whatever the fuck is going on. And the panels that I saw were of Loki, like, looking at basically this big digitized, like, filing cabinet, and it had, like, everybody on there. And it was like, these are all the important beings of, like, the Marvel Universe. And inside each of these were all of the stories of the comics. And, like, you know, he comments on Spider-Man having so many stories and events and stuff that have happened. I'm going to see if I can quickly Google this to find a bit more context on it. But how do you feel about the idea of, like, certain characters specifically not aging in lore and, like, there being an in-universe explanation for that? And do you think that we could see that in the MCU?
I think the only reason that makes sense is that they live very long. I don't think for comic book characters it really matters because they change so much. And there's, like, retcons, and they go back and they say things didn't happen as they did. So I feel like it's less difficult to do it with them.
Yeah.
In, like, an MCU or, like, some kind of... It just seems a little bit more difficult because people are going to age. They're going to look way different. With, like, technology now, they can kind of de-age people, but then it looks a little bit uncanny. So I don't know if that's the best option.
So I found one of the references for it, and it's apparently Galactus spoke about it in an issue. And I'm going to read it out. It's like, just imagine that this is in the voice of Galactus, I guess. I can't do a good impression of the actor that played him in Fantastic Four, I'm afraid, so it's just my awful Yorkshire accent.
Who really could?
Exactly. So, this is what he says about, it's called the sliding time scale. Behold space-time, not space and time, space-time. The present moment, the now, hurtles from past to future along a stream of events, and events have weight. Sometimes the weight is vast, sometimes so light as to be undetectable, but some events, those with a peculiar unique gravity, are caught by the present, dragged in its wake like planets about a sun, always just a handful of years behind. So, I guess what he's saying is that, like, time is just moving slower.
it makes me think that he's talking more about, like, do you know in Across the Spider-Verse when he's talking about these canon events that they can't change?
No, but I know, like, roughly the I think I get what. Yeah, I think I've seen the clip. I've not watched the
That's
film.
like a common thing in time travel where there's certain events, no matter how many times you go back,
it
you
was
can't
in my favorite
change
DC
that event.
film,
It
The
will.
Flash.
Yeah, it'll always happen. They also did it in X-Men 97, which you haven't finished yet, but there was a period with Cable, who, you know, is from the future.
Yeah.
He tries to change an event, but every time he tries to change it, they push him out. Like, the timeline literally ejects him from this point of time because he's not allowed to change what happens.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting to think that those points of time are so strong that they literally would be dragged by the new points of time that are being created. I mean, that's interesting.
Somebody on Reddit, because Reddit is, like, the best place that you can find decent opinions on comic books usually. That's not even me being sarcastic. But someone put, basically, rather than specific dates or times, everything happens relative to now. Rather than looking at the Marvel timeline and say, the Fantastic Four formed in 1961, they would say the Fantastic Four was the first hero group a while back. Events happen
Right.
in order, but the specific amount of time between events doesn't really matter or stay consistent. The X-Men formed before the Dark Phoenix saga happened, but the specific time in between really doesn't matter. While Captain America served in World War II, the exact date when he was unfrozen and the Avengers formed doesn't really matter that much. Just that it
Like
was the first
Magneto.
incarnation of the team.
Because people keep saying that Magneto doesn't make sense because it's been too long since the Holocaust. But if that's the case, it doesn't really matter when it actually happened. He just would have gone through that.
Well, that was kind of like in my brain when I'm reading these stories and stuff. I can't, because had never had anything like related to this fucking thrown at me before. I kind of just mentally, like, convinced myself, I guess, that like the stories that I'm reading, even though they take place in 2016 or they came out in 2016 with like Civil War 2, for example, doesn't necessarily mean that they take place in our real world 2016.
Right.
They could take place in Marvel Comics real world, like, or in universe world of like the 1970s.
Yeah.
But
That's a
their
little bit harder to
1970s
do.
looks like our 2016.
Right. That's a little harder to do in movies, though, because
Yeah.
when you're making, like, unless you're doing a legit period piece, like, there's going to be aspects of right now that are in there, and times and, like, dates, all that stuff.
Do you
It's a little bit.
prefer everything being canon, or do you prefer the DC style of like every 20 years or so you get a big reboot?
I like everything being canon. I hate when people are like, "That's not canon. It doesn't matter."
Yeah.
Because like if I read it and I like it, that's canon to me. I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck.
Or I definitely like the idea of creating your own canon.
Yeah, and like I've said it before, but I'm under the impression always that every single story about a character is just a different universe of them. And like that's their story in that universe. It makes it like kind of easier to be to like change something about the character cuz you can just be like, "Oh, well, in that other universe, there's that storyline that I liked, but in this one maybe it's just a little bit different because it's a different
Yeah.
universe."
There
And
was
I
a...
like
Sorry,
as
go
a
on.
writer, I think that any story is like a window into a different universe. If you think that the multiverse actually exists, like I think that the thought of a different universe can make that like it can be its own thing, and you can literally connect any story you read to any other story.
Well, this is why I have so much fun making read orders for people. Because I'm basically telling you what my canon is.
Yeah.
And like when I said to you, okay, at this point, Age of Ultron is going to happen in 2013. It's entirely up to you if you want to do it. If you don't do it, carry on. If you do it, then do it. So now that's become part of your canon that you've read. Whereas
Yeah.
for me, those events didn't happen.
True.
So I find it fun being able to like piece together and create your own timeline. I do like it having an order, like the MCU has like a definitive timeline and an order, but I do think that moving forward they're going to take the kind of mindset of like, you know, everything that we've already seen is still canon and matters and happened, and will be referenced, but you haven't got to go watch it to get the full context. We're just going to move forward, and, you know, this year we might do an Avengers MODOK film, and it doesn't need to have any build up, and it's a completely different MODOK to the old one.
Yeah.
I think that like having it be a little bit more loose is probably better.
Yeah, but I still think that like having a cohesive storyline is like important. But
Yeah.
when you do want to change things, like I don't think you should be stuck in what you previously had at like not always. If it can still make sense.
I think as well, it can be frustrating, like, especially with DC stuff, if you really love a character's story or whatever, and then, like, boom, they do a reboot. And it's like, oh, like, everything I just read, like, doesn't really matter anymore. Like, I love the New 52 run of Batman. Absolutely love it. I couldn't tell you if it was canon to the current stuff that is happening right now, because I have no idea. I don't know, like, what was canon to it when I was reading it either.
Right.
because they had just had a completely new reboot. So it does, I think it adds a little bit of an extra layer of complexity, but I know people that also like being able to have like these jumping in points, and people that can't handle the idea of having this 70-year lore book that, you know, oh, they mentioned Secret Wars in this issue, so now I've got to go back and read Secret Wars to find out why they brought it up.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you kind of don't need to, but it's there if you want to go do it, I guess.
True. Yeah, I like that too. And I feel like when they do reference things in any comic book, they should maybe be explaining it a little bit. Like, which I think they sometimes do a good job. They at least, like, tell you what's going on. You use context clues, and then they tell you, like, what issue you should go look at if you really want to know the backstory. But I also think you run into problems, like, when they're doing, like, the Absolute Batman, and people are getting, like, weird about them changing the villains. Like, the Absolute Joker, like, his new form has been making the rounds, and people are like, they're just changing stuff to change stuff. And it's like, well, yeah, but it's a new universe. Like, they're changing stuff to change stuff. Yeah, that's the whole point. it's supposed to be different. So.
Also, like, hard. Bearing in mind that, like, for shit, just in case people don't know, I guess, Scott Snyder did say that, like, they have the next year's worth of Absolute stuff already pre-written out. So, like, there's, like, they're not changing stuff for the sake of changing shit based on fan reaction, like people seeing the baby suit Joker and being like, "Ooh, we don't like that," or "Ooh, we really like that," and then Scott Snyder's like, "Ha ha ha, I'm gonna change it now."
Yeah, no, this is planned.
Yeah, like everything is so meticulously thought out ahead in advance.
Which you kind of have to do with some of these things if you're gonna do a long running like storyline. You have to, like, maybe the little pieces aren't exactly all fleshed out, but at least the main storyline, the main arc, all the characters that you have in that arc, you have to know all of that in order to make it make sense.
I think
that's how it, like, the story works.
I think James Gunn is attempting to do the whole, like, sliding timescale sort of thing, which we mentioned earlier. And, like, he kind of talks about... He said it in sort of such a vivid way, and I think it's difficult to wrap your head around. Like, you want a definitive canon, so when, like you mentioned earlier, he brought back Rick Flag Jr., when he brings back the character and, like, references, like, yeah, they went to the island and, you know, he was killed by Peacemaker, but it wasn't the same as in the film. And it's like, right, but so why is it, like, a little bit the same but not the same?
Yeah.
Why can it not, like, why does he have Enchantress as a girlfriend still? Because, like, she gets name dropped.
Oh.
Which then should canonize Suicide Squad 2016. But it doesn't, because James Gunn's explicitly said,
well, okay,
it's different.
Okay, I will say, the Rick Flag that we see, I believe he's from a different universe. He's from because he's doing the multiverse thing. So,
but the flashback isn't from the universe.
They have a flashback?
Yeah. I'm gonna have to spoil it for you if we talk about it anymore. But it's two different Rick Flags.
Interesting.
Which will make sense when you watch it. But
we really gotta watch this fucking TV show. Holy shit.
Yeah, we'll get around to it when it's done. But yeah, we're not doing season 1.
What?
It's not canon.
No, you have to do season 1.
It's not canon.
You have to learn who the characters are.
But it's not canon.
I don't care. We were just talking about how canon doesn't fucking matter. You have to know who these characters are.
Okay, fine. We will watch both seasons of fucking Peacemaker.
I'm not letting you get away with it. I'm sorry.
You can't keep getting away with it.
Because you're gonna watch season 2, you're gonna be like, who are all these fucking people? I don't care about these people.
I know who they all are. I could tell you who every single character is, because I'm watching the reactions to people watching it.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay,
come
listen.
full circle.
My my point. No, we haven't come full circle because it's a sliding time scale, Ryan.
Oh, Jesus.
It's one line with
We've
me going
bounced
back
back.
and forth. Yeah, we've bounced back. Oh my god, we haven't even got onto the big topic of the fucking episode.
Holy shit.
Let's get on to
You're gonna have to cut this up. There's no way this can all be one episode.
What's our longest episode so far? Do you know? Do you remember?
No?
I'll find out. I'll let you know whether it can be this long. But anyway, the big episode is the big topic has nothing to do with anything that we've even spoken about so far. We're gonna get political.
Hell yeah.
Political, Ryan.
Trigger warning.
We're getting political. We're gonna build a wall. We're gonna make them build the wall. We're gonna cancel.
Who's them? Who's building the wall?
God,
oh my
I
god!
can't remember which. I don't even know which Jimmy is it. Our first episode was 2 hours.
Damn.
We've had a 1 hour 40. We've had an hour and a half. We've just had a couple of short episodes. Is the issue.
We don't usually talk for this long.
You know what this is, Ryan? It's a giant-sized.
It's because I went on that tangent about the comic book I was reading. I explained the entire thing to you.
About Jessica Jones, but it was fine.
I really liked that comic book.
And that's fine. Sometimes, you know what? We're gonna have these episodes. Because we probably won't record for like another fucking 3 weeks anyway.
Yeah.
So anyway.
We're like
Let me fucking ask you this question. So, with the recent shit with Jimmy Kimmel, which we haven't really spoken about, like, at all, and we're not gonna the specifics, we're gonna keep it on Marvel, because, nope, we're not doing it. Certain actors, like, spoke out against Disney and the firing of Jimmy Kimmel, noticeably Tatiana Maslany, who plays She-Hulk. She posted, like, a behind-the-scenes thing of, like, the weird green head that she had to wear for She-Hulk. And she posted on her story that you should cancel Disney+. So a lot of people are basically saying that, well, she's lost her job. But Pedro Pascal, heavily left-wing, also defended Jimmy Kimmel. Didn't say that you should cancel your... I almost said your Jimmy Plus. Didn't say that you should cancel your Disney Plus. Also, Mark Ruffalo, also heavily left-wing politically. Fun fact, they asked him which Chris he would rather hang out with out of Chris Hemsworth and Chris Pratt, and he just replied with Hemi.
Hemi.
Yeah. Which obviously...
Have him and Chris Pratt ever, like, even talked to each other in a movie? They have not had a single scene together. Like, what?
No. The only film that they have been in together, they've been in Infinity War and they've been in Endgame, and they never shared a scene outside of portals. So...
Those portals do not count.
No.
That scene is
Definitely
like
not.
a smorgasbord of people. No meetings that happen in that scene matter at all.
No. I don't recall any Hulk fighting scenes during that final battle, actually.
No, he was already fucked.
Yeah, he was quite fucked. Okay, anyway. So, we've got, like, a sort of slew of actors coming out and, like, you know, defending Jimmy Kimmel, defending, more importantly, free speech.
Right.
Less much, you know, just because they like Jimmy Kimmel. It's more so, like, you know, the concept of free speech. And
I do know the concept.
which, well, some people apparently don't.
Yeah.
And most noticeably, I want to get your opinion on, do you think Tatiana Maslany is going to return as She-Hulk or not?
If she didn't, I don't know that it would be because of this situation, but I also don't think that she would have the kind of support, like, behind her, which sucks.
Yeah.
So obviously, I really like She-Hulk. I think that she should definitely show up in something, but I honestly, the way that Disney backtracked on what they were doing with Jimmy Kimmel, like, I don't think that they will be like looking for anybody to fire right now. I don't think that they're willing to have any more heat on their back. They lost a lot of money
Yeah.
like from that. They said like $4 million about.
I mean, there's a whole thing. I don't know how much
I mean,
you've seen it.
they didn't say that that was why they reinstated him, but it's pretty fucking clear that that would be
Well,
why
yeah.
is the money.
When people talk with their wallets, changes tend to
Yeah.
happen quite fast.
Yeah.
There's also, I don't want to like send us off on another tangent, but Elon Musk is currently, I don't know if you've seen it, but he's doing like a whole fucking social media campaign to get rid of Netflix right now.
Really?
Yeah, so there's an animated TV show, I guess. I don't really know what it is, but it has like a trans-focused storyline in it. And he shared it on X, and people have also been, sharing it and showing it around and stuff, along with some other things, basically saying that Netflix are like promoting like child mutilation,
Jesus
promoting like
Christ.
transgenderism at like an early age, like pre-puberty transgender body modifications and surgery and stuff, and like just basically taking it to the extreme as most people usually fucking do.
Yeah.
And he's making people cancel their Netflix. Like, and a lot of people are cancelling their Netflix because this dude has a lot of sway, which we saw during the election. He's even said
Jesus,
himself publicly when him and Donald Trump fell out that the only reason Donald Trump won the election was because of him. Like, this dude has a lot of sway and a lot of followers himself.
Yeah, when he was literally bribing voters. I remember that.
And he's now trying to take down Netflix. And I'm curious, there's been rumors about him starting his own streaming service.
It sucks because I hate Netflix. I really do not like Netflix. But now I'm considering buying Netflix.
It's one of these, like, weird things where I feel like Netflix became so... It used to be peak, right?
Yeah.
Like,
it
you
was
go
the
back a
first one of
decade
its
ago.
kind.
Yeah. You go back, like, a decade ago and, like, Orange is the New Black, Daredevil, I'm trying to think, like, House of Cards, like, all the classic, like, iconic Netflix original shows.
Yeah,
And
they
they
did,
were-
like, Netflix original movies. Some of those were
Yeah.
pretty good.
Like, fucking Stranger Things. Mm-hmm. So many iconic things have spurred out from Netflix, but I kind of feel like Netflix got into the same situation as Disney did with Marvel, where, like, they were just pumping out too much shit. And there wasn't, like, enough focus on the quality.
They kept,
So-
they went through a phase where they would release stuff and then it wouldn't get enough views the first week and then they would just cancel it forever. They had a bunch
Oh.
of shows that only have one season.
Ryan, my beloved
What?
Society.
Yeah,
My
Society.
beloved Society.
There was one, it was like, I think it was I Am Not Okay With This or something like that.
Oh, yes, with the girl from It. And the
yeah,
boy
that
from
was
It.
so good. And we just never got to know what happened there.
I don't know. It's one of those situations where, like, I'm not a huge fan of Netflix, but I don't, like, when you go onto Twitter, it's strange how, like, culty people are. Of, like, they don't need, like, there's no thinking for themselves. There's no, like, personal opinion on the matter. It's like,
It's an echo chamber now.
yeah, he's saying it, so we're all doing it.
Yeah.
So I was kind of curious, like I said, I don't want to go on like a tangent about that. Like, come back to the Disney stuff, because She-Hulk already has like such a negative vibe around it. There were rumors that she was supposed to be in Deadpool 3, and she never got like actually brought into the fold. There was rumors that she was supposed to be in the initial version of Captain America 4, where he was taking on the Serpent Society. And, all that film
She
got
would have been
completely
great
remixed.
in Captain America 4.
This is one of those scenarios where I think that regardless of how good or bad her show had been, just have her appear in other shit and, like,
Yeah.
get people to, like, know her and, like, have other people's takes on her, because, the dude making Captain America 4 might write her in a much better way that's more appealing to a general audience than in the She-Hulk show.
Yeah. There's also like people who just don't watch the TV shows, so they don't care about
Exactly.
any of these TV show characters.
She could have gained new fans by popping up in a film.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I do think that regardless, I don't think she's going to lose her job, and I think that she is going to be in Doomsday and Secret Wars. I feel like, why do you... She's She-Hulk. Like,
Yeah.
She-Hulk's such an important character to the Avengers. She's like one of the core comic book Avengers.
People act like She-Hulk's not important at all.
It's
It's
crazy
funny.
to me. She's like in so many iterations of the Avengers team.
Yeah.
Like, even
And she's
now,
fucking
during
cool.
Imperial, she's doing shit. Like, she's got her own... Like, when you look at a cosmic Marvel event, and you're like, okay, well, we've got all these cosmic characters, and we've got the Galactic Empire of Wakanda, and we've got the Shi'ar, and the Skrull Kree Coalition, and whatever. Who are we going to give a solo series to? Let's give it to She-Hulk. Like, okay,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Why? Because she's popular as fuck.
Yeah.
Because she can carry her own comic. And she's, like, doing a detective thing where she's investigating murders on this planet. I think she's, like, back on Sakaar.
That's cool.
Yeah, like, there's shit that you can still do with her character. But I do think that they might recast her.
Dang.
Like, post-Secret Wars. Because I don't really know... I just feel like I think the casting is just off from the get-go.
Yeah. It's
And
a
if,
possibility.
If there's, like, clashes backstage, like, behind the scenes, already, like, this early on, and she's only been in one thing so far, then it's like, maybe we want more of an unknown actress to take the helm. Someone that we can kind of, like, sway a little bit easier.
Yeah.
But you don't see that kind of, like, conversation happening because of, like, Mark Ruffalo speaking up or Pedro Pascal speaking up.
Yeah.
And Pedro
Which is
Pascal,
crazy
like,
'cause-
actively posts left-wing political stuff on his social media.
And he's only in one movie so far. He just showed up. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. That sucks. But it would make sense if they did a recast, but I wouldn't.
We also... I don't know if we spoke about it off camera, but the Red Hood series that got cancelled because of the comments by the writer, DC, yeah, that one. DC posted about, like, the reason for firing the writer, and they were like, we don't condone extreme political, I guess, like, extreme offensive political opinions. But then somebody posted, like, a screenshot of, I think it's from Absolute Batman, and it's like Batman stood in front of a horde of KKK members. And someone was like, okay, so you're not happy about, like, the writers giving their opinions unless it's, like, actively worked into the story itself. That's how this is working.
Yeah. I
So
do
I
think
thought that
it's
was
crazy.
interesting.
Like, I get... Because people on the left do it, too. They dox people for being, like, for having, like, weird political opinions, which is, like... I don't agree with the political opinions, but I also don't think that, like, in a place where I live, which is America, you should really be able to get somebody to lose their job over the things that they say.
Yeah.
But then it is, like, it's their employer's decision to make, and if it's against their, like, policy, technically there's nothing you can really do about it.
Yeah.
Because, like, a lot of places do have policies in place where when you're in specific environments, you're not allowed to have those opinions. As much as it is, like, you have the freedom of speech in your everyday life or freedom of press, like, when you work in a, like, journalism situation, like, the freedom of speech is, like, you can't be prosecuted in court for what you say. Only your actions. Like, it's not necessarily like you're free to just say whatever you want and no one can hold you accountable and you can't have, like, things happen. Like, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, technically that's not against the law. I don't think it should be allowed, but it's technically is allowed. So it's kind of crazy that that's like
It's
a
a
thing that can
term that
happen to
people have
you.
been bringing up quite a bit, both the left and the right, in regards to like a lot of the political events that have been happening so far, and it's
Yeah.
not necessarily the freedom or like it's not like taking away free speech. It's like dealing with the consequences of the freedom of speech. Have you seen
Yeah.
that? Like people saying that like, yeah, you can say whatever you want, but be prepared for like the consequences of what you're saying.
Where when it came to like
Lawfully, you
Jimmy
can say
Kimmel,
whatever.
yeah, when it came to Jimmy Kimmel, he is like he's a talk show host, but he talks about news. He talks about things happening. Like he generally is like I would say a type of journalist, even if it's not necessarily like the best journalism.
Like a
That would be
reporter,
like
a news
yeah, I
reporter.
feel like that would be covered under like some freedom of speech of the press. But at the
You'd
same time,
think,
like he
but
does work under a network,
yeah.
and that network has its own policies. And yeah, they did backtrack, but it's not because like the law said you can't do this. It's because they decided that the backlash was too much for them.
And now it's
And
like, if anything, it's I don't know like regarding views and stuff like that because I'm just not, I look at fucking film box office, not cable network TV shows in America viewerships.
yeah,
I don't know what kind of viewerships he's raking in at this point as like a result of it, but I did see that him, is it Colbert? Is that how you say his name? The other talk
Colbert.
show host? Yeah,
Yeah,
him. And then like somebody else, like they're all getting together and basically like they're poking the bear and they're basically saying
yeah.
like, look, it's freedom of speech. And at the end of the
Well,
day,
they
yeah,
tried to
it
take
is.
him down too. Right after he won like best talk show host, they were canceling his show.
It's
Or it was like
like
most
the
popular talk show or something like that.
I've also seen people like people will compare like there's somebody did a peaceful protest. I saw a video of, and I say like peaceful protest because it was peaceful. Nobody got hurt. But it had like some dark undertones to it where they went to like, I guess it's like a department where ICE is,
Right.
and they were like pouring red paint outside of it. And somebody, I guess it was a Republican, quote tweeted it and said like, is this what the left consider, is this what you guys are calling your peaceful protests and stuff? Like as if it wasn't a peaceful protest.
That's
And
funny.
then people in the comments, like other Republicans, were talking about the thing in 2021 when Trump didn't win, the storming of the fucking
January
Capitol and
6th.
stuff. Yeah. People were saying, well, that was a peaceful protest.
That was that is crazy.
And
That is
comparing the
crazy.
two. And it's just fucking, I don't know. It's wild
There
to
are
me. It's,
actually like there are rules to protesting, which I think is interesting because protesting is supposed to be like against the like there like to in order to have your right to protest, you have to follow specific rules. Like usually protests need permits. And yes, if there's no violence, that is a peaceful protest. If the violence only comes from the police or the ICE officers or whatever form of like security they have there, that is a peaceful protest.
yeah.
Like even if people are shooting tear gas at them and they're throwing it back, that's not a non-peaceful protest at that point. Like they're being provoked. So I
Yeah.
feel like people really get it in their heads that like just because they're doing something that's disruptive, it's no longer peaceful. But protests are always disruptive, no matter what kind of protest you're doing. That's the whole point of them. Either you're laying on the ground in the way, or you're doing something where people can see it and it shows that there's something going on that they need to pay attention to. Protests are not supposed to be easy to ignore ever. That's like not the point of a protest.
The ones that do irk me are like we see them quite a bit here in the UK are like Oh, I'm trying to think of the name of the thing. Like, there's like a group specifically that do it. It's like an oil thing. Oh, you might have seen it, but I can't remember what it's called. Fucking hell, I'm not sure, but they like threw fucking like canned food on like art and stuff, right? As like a protest. I don't really fuck with shit like that, and I also don't really fuck with shit like sitting in the road and stopping traffic. Because I'm like a person where I'm like, I understand that if I was trying to get to work and somebody was protesting in the middle of the road, I'd be like, look, I get where you're coming from, but if I don't get to work, I'm going to get a disciplinary. And I don't want to lose my fucking job. So you gotta go.
See, that's a thing, though, because, like, if you're in solidarity with protesters, they have a don't cross the picket line, regardless of, like, what kind of picket line it is. You're just supposed to go around. You're not supposed to infringe on their protest.
But there's like scenarios where there's a lot of viral videos of it, especially it's a big thing that people like doing here in the UK when they're protesting, where like picking a busy road and sitting in the fucking middle of it, like how are you supposed to like go around that? Like what is the... I don't understand how it's helping. Whereas throwing paint outside of an ice department is fair enough. Well, that's fair, but you're also like you're not getting anybody on your side by like fucking up their life. If they're like trying to get to work or if there's an emergency or something. There's certain protesting scenarios that I don't agree with.
What gets to me is like
the 616 podcast.
Never returning. No, it like you can think that, obviously. Like I don't.
Do you get where I'm coming from with it?
I understand. Like I would be frustrated, yeah, if I couldn't get to work on time. But I personally don't think I would have more of a problem with the people protesting than I would about like why the fuck do these people have to protest about this stupid shit that's going on. But it gets to me when people think that they have the right to protest and to protest whatever they think is wrong. But then when the other side decides to use their voice, it's all of a sudden like wrong and they shouldn't be allowed to do it. Like, obviously, like we said, the January 6th protest, that was not a peaceful protest. They stormed the Capitol building and they had weapons and they were threatening to kill people. Like, straight up, they wanted to kill people in that building. So that's not necessarily like if you have people marching down the street, like there's nothing you can do about that. But you get Nazi parades that get to go down the street and get cops to follow them so that nobody attacks them. But then when you're trying to have a protest against like police brutality, obviously the police are now brutalizing you. Like, or like there was a couple of years ago, a pride parade here. They had marched a literal Nazi parade right next to the pride parade.
Oh, they painted like the police thing, didn't they? Oh, fucking hell, you've just made me realise they painted the Pulse nightclub thing as well. They got rid of the rainbow.
Yeah.
That's wild to me.
They said it was fucking distracting wild to drivers.
And like, there's so much. God, we're like going down a fucking.
But they had people protesting that by using chalk and coloring it in and making it so they couldn't erase that. You know, like obviously chalk can be erased, but like they can't erase the sentiment behind it, which is that the people there want it to be there.
There's been a lot with like people bringing up trans school shooters. And it's wild that, like, God, it seems weird to compare it to it, but it is like what we spoke about before, where people are so tuned out with comic books, where, like, they just ignore the, like, the allegories and, like, the representation and the symbolisms and stuff, and, like, the deeper meanings behind shit. Like, they're just not aware of stuff that's happening, and, like, even when you're presented with clear-cut facts, they just don't want to accept them. And with like a lot of the stuff that I've seen lately is like, you know, oh, all like the majority of school shooters are trans, and we have to stop this trans disease and blah blah blah. And then they get shown that, like, 4 in 3,500 school shooters are trans. 4. And you're saying that it's like a majority and stuff. And it's, oh, well, that's fake and I don't believe it. And it's from this news source and blah, blah, blah. And I asked ChatGPT and I added Grok and blah, 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 And
statistics.
it's just, the world that we live in is crazy.
Yeah.
It's fucking wild.
You can skew any kind of, like, data set to be what you want it to be if you just completely negate the actual truth of what's there. It's kind of crazy. Like, there are so many people who will they'll post these, like, weird graphs and, like, weird, like, and then you look into it, it doesn't make any sense. It's, like, not the right information, or the year is wrong, or, like, they're literally, like, it's just not real. They've just used their own data sets to, like, create this pretend chart for people to use against other people, and it's crazy.
So, in conclusion, we think She-Hulk will be back.
We hope and we pray.
That'll be... we'll be back for our political roundup in about a year's time, when some nukes go off and some more presidents get outed as being pedophiles.
Oh my god.
And just fucking... I don't know, I don't like talking about political shit because I feel like there's just so much to talk about.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
It's a nightmare.
I don't like talking about it, like, in person. I don't like talking about it, like, just in general. I don't like watching the news. I just like reading my comic books and stuff. But I feel like with everything going on at the moment, it was kind of difficult with, like, Disney being brought up and Marvel getting, like, roped into it, and, like, the actors and stuff. It was kind of difficult to avoid.
Yeah, it sucks, and it's hard to, like, think about and talk about, because it's so terrible all the time. But I do think it is important to, like, because these things affect our everyday lives, and they affect the media we consume, and they will affect how the things are made, the movies that are made. Like, if this stuff, like, continues to go on, like, yeah, Disney is a part of this. Like, Disney could very well turn on their heads and start making propaganda fucking movies. They're already, like, technically Marvel is, because they deal with the military, they're military propaganda. That's been, like, a main thing since the beginning of the MCU. I don't know if you know about that, but...
You know what? You brought up military propaganda
scary.
About warfare, and I didn't enjoy it.
I always am talking about military propaganda.
I don't want to know about the military propaganda in the MCU.
The thing you just have to know, any movie you watch that has the United States military in it, the military has 100% say of what they talk about the military. 100% say. Otherwise, they're not allowed to talk about it. They're not allowed to use the stuff. They literally cannot. So that's, I mean...
Is the military...
It is what it is, but...
used in anything past Iron Man, though?
Well, I mean...
Well,
Captain Marvel.
National Security, the Home Guard or whatever. What is it called? Oh no, they don't even get the army in on the first Avengers film, do they?
It's mostly S.H.I.E.L.D. that takes the place of the military. But I don't know if that counts. Because it's technically, like, intelligence, like, agency in America. Even if it's made up. And they're using military, like, props and stuff. But yeah, like...
I don't know.
Captain Marvel had the Air Force. She is part of the Air Force, so... And Captain America's in the military. I mean, Cap 4, that was all about the military, wasn't it? Kind of, in a way.
I don't really know. I couldn't really tell you what Captain America 4 was about. Yes, it was about national claiming of unsanctioned waters.
Yeah.
And we had fighter jets, American Air Force, taking on the people.
Taking on the people.
Yes,
The other
for
countries.
the big adamantium man, which known to his friends as Adam. Adamantium man, Adam.
Okay.